Knights Academy. Training's in session.
Alright, so last week we left off. You guys finally finished the dungeon. Came back with a massive amount of spoils. Divided up the loot. You do still have to decide exactly what you're keeping in the vault, or if you're just changing it into gold. You have got to meet your new partners in crime. I mean, partners in business. And
Yeah, they're not interested in crime.
Honest business.
Crime.
Finding out some of the work that they have done to improve your estate for you. At least they are proving to be useful. In
And that was everything that happened.
And that was everything that happened. Oh, wait. And then the knock on the door.
Oh yeah, there
What?
was that.
What, we have a door?
Actually, yes, you do, guys. You actually have doors now on the front. If you take a look over here, there actually is doors.
That's true. Matt even mentioned that.
Yeah, they filled in doors on every place that could be a door.
We just need a doorbell now.
Yeah.
What we need is a butler so that we don't have Gruck going down and answering the door.
Well, for right now, I'm okay with it, though.
Yeah,
Because, it's still early. You never know who's going to show up.
That's true.
You need a butler who's like a 17th level fighter.
Dude, can we just hire one of those?
That would be badass.
I don't think
What
we
do
can
you
afford
want?
one of those
No,
right now.
you can't. You really can't.
Can we just kidnap one? I'm sure we could brainwash a 17th level fighter. They're not usually that smart.
You know what?
Maybe at
Go
level
ahead and
11
try.
or something. When you get modified memory.
I could just charm person all the time.
And you forget to do it one day.
Well,
We
then
all
we're
die.
fucked. So someone's gonna have to remember to set an alarm so that I wake up once an hour.
Oh, that'd be miserable.
Yeah, it would, but man, would it be hilarious. Also, I can't cast it 24 times in a day.
No.
But that would be epic.
If you could
Can we
short-
get like a metric fuck ton of charm person wands?
No. No, that is definitely something I would never give to you.
Aw.
He doesn't
We
trust
just-
you.
We just need to find 6 people that can cast Charm Person.
No, because think about it. All you have to do really is pull it off once, because then you just have to remember, like, as long as you remember to go down and charm him before it wears off, you say, I'm going to cast a spell, I need you to let me do it, it's friendly, and he'll be like, okay, cool. So then you just cast a spell, boom, charm person's reactivated.
Yeah,
Well, I
that's what I mean. Because if you have 6 people that can do it, then each of them only have to do it 4 times to last the entire day, and each person can get 5.5 hours sleep in between the next time they have to cast it.
That's true.
Yeah,
At
but
night.
if you remember, correctly now, I can do it for 8 hours.
Really?
Sharp.
I
Yeah.
forgot about that.
Well,
can do
in
it for
that
8 hours.
case, in that case, we should totally get like a 20th level fighter. All we need to do is come up with one that's gonna miss his wisdom save once.
Technically true.
Technically.
Matt's just sitting there like, fuck.
I forgot about that!
No, I didn't forget about it. But you forget one time. That's where it gets fun for me.
Right. All we have to do is make sure that Ambrosia remembers to charm him.
You guys
So
leave
you
for
need-
3 days.
You
She's
need
a
to treat Ambrosia
bookkeeper.
better. Then.
She's a bookkeeper. She's got to be that kind of responsible. And I have never insulted Ambrosia to her face.
You say that, and I'm like, hold on, is she that responsible? Does she even have it?
If she ever gets mad at you,
She can cast spells, so all we have to do is figure out a way to give her an item.
She does not have charm person, but she does have detect thoughts.
Okay, but she probably recognizes that she's on the same playing field as everybody else, so it's not like a personal offense. It's not like everyone else is awesome and fuck you, Ambrosia. Like, I treat everybody like that.
That is true.
I am an equal opportunity egotist.
You're all dirt to me.
Pretty much, yeah.
Sounds about right. So,
I
yes,
hate everyone equally.
the knock on the door happened, and when the door was open, it was a group of 5 people there. Did you want me to re-describe them all?
Yes, please.
All right. So the one that's actually standing there knocking, she appears to be half drow. Actually, she stands a little over 5 feet tall. She's wearing full plate mail. Her armor seems to absorb the sun, like it doesn't reflect light at all. She has a large pike in her hair, and her hand, and her hair is pulled into tight cornrows. Her eyes do gleam red, and she's the one that's standing in the front with the smirk, and she's the one that was talking last week. The tiefling, she's kind of in the back a little bit, a little crouched over. She has hoofed feet, a long tail, the horns. You can see there's a few chips in her horns from the combat she's had. A small scar across her, above her eyebrow. Her skin is a bluish color, and her eyes are green with snake-like irises. She does not carry a weapon with her, but you do see a small rod on the side that kind of looks similar to what you have, but newer. One of the gentlemen...
Rod. What, like a quarterstaff or a wand?
A rod. An actual rod. So, there is a guy that's standing back a little ways. He is got a feral look to him. He stands a little over 6 foot tall. He is abnormally hairy, wearing a nice belt, but everything else is pretty much like torn, tattered. Doesn't seem to take care of himself. His hair is wild and unkempt. He does have a large maul strapped to his back. He isn't even wearing shoes, by the way. Just pants and a belt. That's pretty much all he has on him. Although there is a very distinct glint of something metallic on his finger. There is a high elf, obviously a high elf, stands about 5.5 foot tall. He is brightly colored, wearing oranges, yellows, and reds in varying patterns across his robes that seem vaguely phoenix-like. He has a feather on his belt that does appear to be a phoenix feather, and his fingers are twitching, and he's just kind of like cackling softly in the background no matter what's being said. He's clearly lost his shit. The last one you guys have already met as well. By the way, that half drow, she is the one you guys that Gruck dove off the cliff for. So you do recognize her, and you do recognize the other one, which is Bones. He looks, for lack of a better term, Egyptian. He's from Zahor, clearly. He is wearing a long trench coat that is dark and tattered, although does seem very tough. He has a very ostentatious pirate hat on with a feather, and has a small crew of 4 skeletons and 4 zombies with him.
And I suppose for the sake of saying it, I'm the only one that actually recognizes anybody.
True.
You and Vol.
Robert, well, yeah, but Robert's not actually here.
That is true. And she, when she sees, she kind of just leans forward and remember she said, I don't remember what the exact wording was, but it was,
We need to
we're
track
here
the
to
blue
see
one.
the blue one.
Yeah. And I'm standing on the other side of the door in the doorway. And I'm going to look at him. I'm going to smile. I'm going to like, it's been a long time. And I'm going to turn my head. And I'm going to holler out Ambrosia. come here, please. And then I'm gonna turn back to him. I'm gonna open his door. Like, may I take your coats? Would you like some refreshment?
Bones definitely doesn't want you to take his coat. It finishes his outfit. He needs that in order to look pirate in his mind. Everybody else, if they have a coat, which is literally just a tiefling, will let you have it. So.
All right. How long does it take Ambrosia to get down there?
Not sure what she's doing, but it does take a little over 5 minutes for her to get down there.
5 minutes. Oh my god, I
Grok?
gotta stall for that long.
Grok,
What?
in your head, you're gonna probably hear something like "weapons also, please." Like, just have him lean them off against the door. We just don't need a party of 5 people coming into our house fully armed.
I mean, yeah, I got you, but that might be a hard sell.
You better said it well.
Well, it's a good thing that we're having the least charismatic person with this then. Would you care to lighten your belts? I can assure you of your safety here.
Are you asking us to remove our weapons? Ira will ask you.
If you would kindly, this is our home. I can assure you of your safety.
All weapons? Or just large weapons? AKA, do you want my dagger too?
You can keep your daggers.
Everyone has one.
I mean, I would assume so.
Everybody has a dagger. I mean, come on, it's D&D.
Yeah. This,
There's even a creature made only of daggers.
like,
Even a creature made of all daggers.
Yeah.
I'm basically just trying to say, like, the big obvious shit. We're noblemen. We have a, it's going to probably be standard practice at our house. Like, if you come in, there will be a spot in the corner of the main foyer in which you can leave your major weapons.
They will put them down. Not even reluctantly. They put them down. There's only 3 weapons placed down. There's a rapier put down from Bones. Ira puts down her pike, and the barbaric guy puts down his maul.
Okay.
Yeah. You could definitely tell that the high elf, by the way, is a wizard. He does have a book at his side. Not that he needs it to cast, but he has it at his side. So.
I'm gonna quick glance around. Is the dwarf Ivan's brother? Is he nearby at all?
Wait, Boris?
No, the other one.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, I forgot his name. I thought it was Ivan. Sorry.
Yeah. Boris. Boris's cousin, no. Peggy is not around. That's what you guys have been calling him so far.
Oh, okay, Peggy. Okay, I can work with that.
Yeah, because he's got a peg leg. Yeah, so they will set those down. Not even reluctantly, really, like I said. Bones will turn around, and he does talk in... You're not exactly sure what language. It is very guttural, and it fills his whole mouth as he speaks, like it's very deep. But when he does, the 4 skeletons and the 4 zombies all stand over by the weapons.
Fair
Is it
enough.
abyssal?
Smart man.
Deep speech, actually, is what he was speaking.
I know dark speech.
You do not know dark speech.
Can I learn dark speech?
No. You
Can
know
I
what?
read his mind?
Higher levels, yes. But not yet.
Okay. What to find higher levels?
You'll have to find somebody to teach you. In other words, you're going to have to talk to a god, pretty much. So, that type of higher levels.
Hey, Saxon, you want to teach yourself dark speech?
An actual god.
An actual god. Not a guy with a god complex. There's a difference.
I bet I
All
learned
men-
dark speech before you do.
All men think they're gods. I just happen to be right.
I just happen to be right. Okay.
So, where are you going to take them then at that point?
Well, see, that's why I'm really waiting for Ambrosia, but 5 minutes is a long time to stall.
Well, she hasn't started coming down yet. Let me put it that way. And I'm assuming Zach, Vol, and Saxon are here. So
I am, okay, customarily speaking, when we have visitors, the same thing. When the dwarf showed up the first time, I'm typically staying behind a corner observing.
I kind of pictured you up here on the second floor, just like watching. At least that's how I pictured you.
Yeah, like, I want to make sure I can see what's going on without being incredibly visible. Like, if they sit down and try to roll really well on a perception check, they could probably see me. I'm
Speaking
not
of which,
hiding.
give me an insight check to everybody that's there. So all three of you. Just to see if you notice something.
$27.
Whew. You might
All
all
of us
three
will,
notice.
or just Saxon?
Yeah, all three of you.
Oh.
I'm waiting for your roll too, Grook. Actually, oh, you're stealthing, Zach?
Yeah, please.
Alright. That's fine.
Well, you know what? I think I will, if Vol is there, like, within, eyesight, then I will probably ask Vol if he would take our guests into what I'm going to call the atrium, the room with the fountain and the windows all around. It's a nice circular room. I don't know if atrium would be an apt description for it, but it makes sense to me.
Works. Alright, Gruck, you do not notice this. Saxon, you will notice this, and Zach, you will. All of them are staying fairly close together. They're not, like, wandering away from each other. They're all staying within about 10, 20 feet of each other.
That's fine.
Zach, you will notice specifically they're all staying within 10 feet of the paladin.
Oh. Okay.
Also, Zach, you will notice that the barbaric one will sniff the air and look straight at you. And then look back at the rest of the group, like, just shrugs.
Jesus. That guy can smell shit.
Take
Uh,
a shower, man. Jeez.
Can I tell if Saxon and Grok are tense?
Gruck, how would you describe your demeanor right now?
Like, I wouldn't go quite so far as to say tense, but certainly curious as to how things are going to turn out.
Vol seems perfectly relaxed. He is not aware of any type of tension.
Like, would apprehensive be might be a proper way to describe it?
Sounds like a good word for it.
So basically, the only one who knows where I am is the barbarian right now.
Yes.
I wanna sneak up on the wizard.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Are you fucking kidding me? What are you doing?
I just wanna see his book.
Well,
Can you not?
I don't know him. He's
As
just
you-
friendly.
as you're stealthing up, Vol is leading them into the atrium at this point. Gruck, what are you doing?
if they agree to follow Vol to the atrium and he's leading them out there, then I will ask them again if they would care for any refreshment, and like as they start moving.
The tiefling says yes, please. She doesn't say anything specifically.
Fair enough.
Ira just kind of says, shakes his head. The barbarian goes, meat.
He can have Zach.
Probably gonna end up with him.
Yeah. The wizard's just cackling, and Bones says, rum.
Oh wait, I'm going for the insane one, ain't I?
Yeah, you're going up for the one that's going.
Never mind. I forgot about that. I knew that there's one insane guy, but I didn't take it for the wizard.
Why do you think they were like, could you please not?
I didn't know it was the wizard.
Now, Saxon, you can, with your point of view, see that Zach is starting to sneak up. I will give you a chance to...
Okay, in your head, you're going to hear, I would not recommend that at all. And you will hear, like, there's forcefulness in this, in that I'm trying to be polite at the moment, but it's damn near me being like, don't you fucking dare.
I'm so happy that you two guys are on such a good terms right now. He would most likely do it just to fuck with you.
YOLO, man. YOLO. Go get it.
You can just let it happen, too. Is that, like, are you going to keep going, Greed?
Can I... How close I am to them right now?
You're about 20 feet away at this point.
Can I take a closer look at the wizard?
He has his back to you at the moment.
Can I real quick jump in? Quick side note: as they start moving, after I ask them if they would like anything to drink, I'm gonna head for my room to get my armor.
Okay. That works. That takes 10 minutes to dawn. You know that, right?
Yeah, but
Right.
the sooner I get started, the better.
Makes sense.
And on the way, if I run into Ambrosia, then I will ask her to grab their beverages and, meat and blah, blah, blah. And then also, I don't know, get a good look at their faces if you would, please.
All right. Yeah, she will. You will run into her, and she will do that for you. Not a problem. So, Zach, are you still sneaking up on him? You can see his fingers twitching a lot.
I'm gonna stay 15 feet away.
Oh, man, the kind of magic that guy must know.
You're about 15 feet away, and the you can see the barbarian kind of shifts back towards the backside of the group, and has a low guttural growl coming from his throat. But he doesn't look back at you.
Okay.
But everybody goes to the atrium area, whatever we want to call that later. There is a lot of light. It is a nice fountain in there. Some small seating around in the areas. They do all stay fairly close together still. You can see that the demeanor of these people, like, they are ready for anything to happen, but they almost seem apprehensive if anything is going to happen. Like, nervous about it. But they are on their guard.
I would probably like to make another cut in here. By the time I get to my room and start grabbing my armor off the rack, then I'm going to touch the earring and relay to Saxon. These are, well, two of these are the individuals that were in the fight with us at the God's Temple. They are aware of Zerat.
I'm gonna make my way to Gruck's room.
Alright. There is not a lot of places to hide, by the way, Zach, in the atrium, so you do have to wait outside of it if you want to keep stealthed.
Oh, can you point me where that is?
There is no place to hide in there. They can see.
This one here.
Yeah.
Is there a vantage point or something?
There's a couple corners like over here that you could easily hide at. You could also go through, go around and hide up in here very easily.
Basically, if I can find a place where I can see all of them, that will be awesome.
Yeah, you can find a place. You can even actually go to the second floor up here, climb onto the roof, and actually go have a vantage point through the glass on the top. That would be the most
awesome.
secure place. You do notice that they do move over to there. All of them are kind of standing in that area where they have a good vantage point of both doors. They are trying to stay... they're staying tactfully aware, let me put it that way.
Are they saying anything to each other? Whispering
Not
anything?
that you see.
Oh. Okay.
Not that you see. Alright. So, Saxon, what do you do when you get to Gruck's room?
First of all, I will wait at the door for permission to enter.
Is it a
Although I
knock
will
or is it? Okay, then.
Make
then
sure,
yeah, it's,
like,
you know,
if you
basic
left your
enter.
door open, I will tap gently on the door. If it's closed, I will knock or send something into your head, like, do you mind? That kind of thing. It's your room. I'm going to respect it, basically.
No, that's fine. It will be a quick confirmation.
Okay, I will enter, and then in your head, I'm going to say, I need to know everything. Basically, what I'm looking for is a rundown of what happened in the battle. In as much detail as you remember.
Right. I will touch the earring, and do you mind if I speak it? That way I can dress while I talk. Because putting this on is already going to take 10 minutes, and if I don't have hands free, it's going to take longer.
You do know that you can actually dress him for, and he can sit there and hold it.
There's that. And then I'm going to send a message to Ambrosia to please inform our guests that we are currently involved in matters of state. I am aware that they are here, and I will be with them as soon as humanly possible.
Alright. It'll be another minute or so. I'll let you guys get through this, and then I'm going to go to what's happening with Ambrosia and everything for you guys and the group. So, go ahead.
Okay. If it helps, I remember what happened at the battle, even though Saxon does not, so we can skip that little bit of roleplay if we just assume that he brings me up to par.
I'm kind of curious what Gruck would say about it all.
Okay, fair enough.
I mean, it'd be fairly short and simple. We were in the Red Dragon Inn, if I recall correctly. The wizard came in for the Mystic Sanctum in order to teleport us there because of the attack that was taking place. Along with the group, shortly afterwards, there were two people that were teleported onto the field of battle to aid us. One of them was Ira, the one in full plate. The other one was the guy who's dressed like a pirate that has the skeletons and the zombies with him. They aided us in the battle. I saved the life of the one in full plate. She was thrown off the cliff. I jumped after her to, get in range to cast Featherfall, saved her. And that is when Zerat revealed himself because he saw me jump off the cliff and thought he had to save me. My impression is that they are interested in some form of blackmail. Nothing was said outright, and they helped us win the day. And then I think they said something of the nature of, we'll be seeing you again or something. Like, if I remember correctly, something like that was said. And then we were teleported back, and at the end of the fight, that was when I, through the earring, revealed my surprise that you could turn into a dragon, even though I kind of already knew. And after we were teleported back, then somebody else showed up to yell at Zerat in the inn.
Okay.
All right.
Then what I will tell him is, when we go in there, remember two things, please. Number one, we are noblemen and they are not.
That
As
you
far as I'm
know of.
aware.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Like, I saw none of them at the voting,
No.
correct?
None of them were at the voting.
Okay. So unless they reveal themselves to be noblemen, I am not going to treat them as equals. As far as certain things are concerned. And number two, please keep an eye on Zach. He seems to be a little impulsive.
Yeah.
They're here to blackmail me for something that he doesn't know about. We kind of need to keep it under wraps.
That was my intention.
Now, Zach, just as a brief reminder on this, dragons are expected to be extinct in this world. Nobody has seen them in centuries, since before the world split.
Do I know that or?
That is
common
lore.
knowledge.
That's common knowledge. Dragons are myth. They used to be alive. People have seen dragon bones. Like, there are still dragon scales floating around. You know, there are artifacts from dragons, but nobody has seen a live dragon in centuries. So.
Okay.
Have you seen Game of Thrones?
Yeah. Some of it, anyway.
Okay, think the first season of Game of Thrones.
Okay.
So. I just wanted to recap that, so, like, if anything does come up for you, that, you know, it could be a surprise. Alright, so you guys are doing that conversation as you are donning your armor. It'll be about 2 or 3 minutes. Ambrosia will come down. You'll see that, Zach. She will walk in with a tray of refreshments for everyone. Where are you hiding?
Where I can see them really well.
Okay, so are you on the roof or are you in the building?
Which one is better?
It'll be a better hiding place on the roof, but you won't be able to hear them. You'd have to read lips.
I'll read their lips then.
Okay, which means you have to have a direct line of sight. They may have their back to you, so on, so on.
I'll be downstairs then.
Okay, that's why I was wanting to know exactly what you were wanting to do.
Okay.
They are talking very softly to Ambrosia when she approaches. Soft enough that it's hard to actually make out words. You could just hear that there's words being said. You do see her glare at Bones at one point during that conversation, as well as Ira glares at Bones.
No, tell me he made a move. That would be hilarious.
That's
But she'll talk to them for a few minutes, kind of give a little bow, and then walk out. As she's walking out, she does glance at you, by the way.
I wave. And I point at them.
So, and you could tell that she is, as soon as she leaves there, beelining it for Druck's room. Are you going to stay there and keep an eye on them?
Yeah.
Okay.
One more side note, if I may. Depending on how the timing all works out, after I get my armor on and everybody leaves my room, I'm going to look for one of the dwarves and give them my axe.
Which axe?
The Berserker axe.
I don't know if you're
So-
willing to part with it.
Well, I mean, it's not that it's that I'm trying to keep up an appearance of not turning this into a combat,
Is that a roll
but I want to
from
have it close.
Amigos?
Yeah.
Damn, that thing looks good. It's been a while since I've had one of those. Sorry.
Well, if you remind me before I leave, I will stop at Amigos. I cannot guarantee you that I will remember, so you have to remind me.
I will try to remind you. All right.
By the way, I hope one of them slaps you or something. That will be entertaining.
By the way, after Ambrosia leaves, it'll be about another minute, and Boris will come wandering in, notice him, and he'll go up and he'll introduce
Can I
himself.
stop him before?
You don't have a chance to. He comes through a different door than you.
Ah, Jesus! What doorway?
Well, you're kind of hiding over here, so you can see everything very well without them. And he
He's
comes
coming
through
through the
over here.
other way.
Yes. And so Boris goes up, and you can see him talking to him like, oh, going through and, oh, I am Boris. Who are you? I do not recognize you. Are you here to meet with the men of the house? Type thing. And getting up there and talking to them. Boris is loud enough that you can hear what he is saying, although the others are staying hush-toned.
Can I say something and make it hard to pinpoint where it's coming from?
It is a dome, so it does amplify sound in there. I'd say if you study the acoustics in the house later on, you'd be able to do stuff like that. But as of right now, you're pretty sure it would give away your location. But you could try to say something and then move. Or just boldly walk out.
Yeah, I'll slowly walk out and say in Dwarven, above your pay grade.
Above your pay grade.
Yeah.
Hey, you're an asshole.
He's going to fall.
guys
He's going to
think
fall
I'm
the
a-
crazy guy, most likely.
You guys think I'm a dick? Jeez.
Yeah, but I'm polite about it.
I mean, polite-ish.
Yeah. It's still an improvement.
Trying to figure out where they have languages at on D&D Beyond. Hold on, because I can't remember what they all speak.
Oh, you wanna... Oh, okay.
So...
Surely one of them speaks Dwarven. It'd be
Say it in
I-
dark
kind of
speech.
surprising.
I don't know if one of them actually does. That's the thing.
Man,
No diversity in that group.
that's terrible.
You realize that's horribly rude to come in all of a sudden and speak to someone who's speaking in common in a different language?
In depth truth.
Like crazy rude.
Well, it's crazy rude to speak into someone's mind as well, but you don't see me judging.
I mean, he's kind of not wrong. Valid point.
The difference is I'm an adult.
Give me an insight check.
Well, by social standards, I am as well.
You're gonna make me choke on my sunflower seeds, asshole.
My bad.
My bad. 24.
When you say that, you do catch the slightest of eye movements in your direction from Ira,
Which one is Ira? The...
the paladin.
Okay.
And, yeah. But she doesn't actually respond to it or anything. And he just looks at you for a moment.
Don't question it. It's...
Well, is there any other refreshments I can get for you while you are waiting? I mean, I do not know why they brought you here. We have perfectly good place to go sit and eat. I can give proper food if you wish.
Oh, see, I didn't know that it was gonna take 20 minutes for us to get back to him.
Yeah. So, he will offer to take them down to there and make them some food. Which they will politely accept, a little curious on it. And he will actually take them down here and start bringing them proper refreshments. Gruck, from your room, you can hear that they've been brought down to that area. Like you guys, because there's an opening above that, so
Right.
you'll be able to hear it from your room. The
What kind of walls? Because this estate is built out of stone, right?
yes,
And I'm assuming that the walls themselves are probably a couple inches thick in any location.
yeah, if any couple inches to 6 to a foot or so.
Yeah. Okay. Then yeah, that's fine. I'm not going to be overly concerned then.
Yeah, there's like a door here that could block the sound technically at the end of the hallway. But I'm assuming it's left open most of the time. There's no reason to have it shut, so.
Yeah.
So that's why you're able to hear. But as like you can't hear that there's what they're saying or anything like that. You could just hear that there's noise in there. Probably hear Boris's voice, but you can't really tell what he's saying with the echoing of the halls and everything.
Well, honestly, my bigger concern was magical means can only or typically go through so much stone or rock or lead, things of that nature. So the more that's in between us and them, the better for that aspect.
Yeah, and before you hear that, all that happening, Ambrosia will come into the room. I'm assuming, Saxon, you're still there?
Yes.
She will come in.
Watching him dress.
Well, he's donning armor. He's dressed, so typically there would actually be a person helping him don his armor. So, and depending on the culture, traditionally it was the wife that did it. But
Well, I'm not married and I have yet to acquire a slave child, so
this is true.
Slave child.
give me time. Give me time.
Slave child.
I've
I mean,
probably been
squire.
around him enough that as we're having our conversation, I will assist him.
Yeah, that way it only takes a fraction of the time instead of the whole 10 minutes. She will come in. All right, I took refreshments to him. What did you want to know about them?
Well, I specifically wanted you to take a look at them and see all of their faces because 2 of the 5 are the ones that, well, God, I don't know. Do I want to tell her that? It's kind of too late. Huh. Well, let's put it this way. Not entirely sure how this is going to turn out.
They think I'm Zerat. And that's in her head, by the way.
And she kind of leans forward to you a little bit. In which way?
In the way no one's supposed to know about.
She glares at you and glares at Gruck.
He did a stupid thing. I'm covering for him. They don't know about him as a person, and they think that I'm the dragon. Again, in her head.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, she wasn't exactly sure what she was doing when she took them and stuff. Well, let's see.
So he, at this moment, is perfectly safe.
I do have the ability to detect their thoughts if I need to. Is there anything else you want me to do? Like, I could tell you a little bit about them. I recognize 2 of them.
Okay, go ahead.
Gladly.
Well, Ira, she's actually rather well known in Pravia, where I'm from. She's from a very well-to-do family. Her father is a senator. So
killing her is not the greatest idea.
I would not recommend it. No.
And unless we want to start a war.
Oh yes, quite possibly. But yes, she is.
Not yet.
She is.
We don't
noble.
have the manpower yet.
She is a noble in her own right.
later.
She is a noble in her own right. As for the other, well, his actual name don't know if he wishes it to be revealed since he's going by Bones right now. Let's just say he is a noble of his own right. And by a noble, I mean he's more than a noble. He technically has royal blood. He's the bastard son of the pharaoh.
Oh, great. So now we have like Marcus Aurelius Jr. and Jon fucking Snow.
By the way, I'm from Pravia. Do I know that about Lara?
You would recognize her a little bit, like she looks familiar. If you get a good look at her signet ring, you would see the family ring, and yes, you would know it. There is a town in Pravia, since you're from there, you would know this, that nobody knows where it's at except for the inhabitants of the town. And the town is all drow. They keep this location of that city secret because it is said to be the gates to hell. Hades are like so they are the protectors of those gates, and their society is kept secret from that. Her father is the senator from that city. In fact, her family is the only one that really is out and about as a drow in Pravia. So they're very well known and very easily to spot. However, she is not full drow. She is only half drow. So the chances of because he would be married to a drow, so yeah, there's something going on there you're not sure of, unless maybe you've heard about it. History check.
I've had too many good rolls. As I said.
Yeah.
I mean, way to call it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that you're able to detect that much from it all, but you're not able to really get much more than that. So yeah, what else did you guys want to do then?
Taste the rainbow, basically.
I will ask Ambrosia to keep an eye on things. If she feels the need to detect some thoughts, by all means. But at this moment, I'm fairly certain they're here to blackmail me, which, depending on the nature of the blackmail, is more of an inconvenience than anything else. And as long as we can ensure that they still think that I'm the dragon, then Zerat is safe, so we don't need to attack them yet.
All right.
For how long have I been watching them, by the way?
You've been now about 15 minutes before everybody will be coming down.
Can I tell why they're here?
Nope.
Do we
not
have
100% sure.
Do we have a more formal meeting room than the big dining room?
Well, as
Something
of right,
that's a little better decorated.
not yet. You guys are going to be working on a few things. The only other place you have is on the second floor here. But it's just like it opens up. There's not really you don't have a quote unquote meeting room yet. You don't have a nice office or anything like that.
Okay.
And they are actively. They actually have a large amount of food and servings now. Boris is definitely taking care of them.
All right.
So it'll be a good place to meet. And the only people in the house as of right now is, well, the 7 people that are establishing this, aka you guys, Boris, Peggy, Ambrosia, and them. Well, technically Seer's downstairs.
Yeah, but,
So.
it still would be fun to just unleash a rust monster on a group of fighters. Someday.
So you will, you'll come down, you guys will come down them together? Or?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Vol is there heartily eating and drinking with them.
He is that one guy.
He's recanting stories of the
Hello?
Of the murderous screams of his victim.
Hey, Matt, can you give me like 2 minutes?
yeah.
Okay, hang on 1 second. What's up?
Well, okay, I'll go through. Vol is retelling stories, and by the way, this is probably the first time you've heard these stories, Zach, of the battle for the God's Tower. He's telling it to the 3 people that weren't there. And there is one, like, he's telling of this grand fight between these elementals and mages flinging spells everywhere.
Can I inside check him?
Yeah, absolutely you can. And once in a while, Bones is tossing in the thing. Ah, that's the one that took me.
Natural one!
That's the one that took me skeletons. I will never forgive any fire elemental for that atrocity. And, you know, it's getting to the point where it's victory, and then Bones goes, that's not the way I remember it. I remember there being something else that happened there. I remember somebody laying down on the job. And Vol's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And just...
I don't know what you're
as they're just obviously jovially remembering this battle together. Even on your natural 1, a 9 insight, you're able to tell that Vol probably got knocked out during the fight. So, and he is definitely amping up his portion of the story. But they do tell the story about where the one sorcerer used cast something and threw Ira off the edge, and Ira's just like frustrated. You can see about that part, and how Gruck dove after her to save her heroically. They do seem to leave something out there and continue on the story of this fight. Never, there is a definite gap in the conversation, because there's a part where they're leaping off the cliff, and then they're up on top of the cliff, and they never talk about anything in between. So you're not sure if the whole being thrown off the cliff and diving off the cliff is made up, or how they got up, or what. Because your insight was kind of low. But they are talking loud enough and jovially enough that you don't feel like you can get a word in edgewise, if that makes sense. Until they're done with their story, that is. So when they finish the story, do you want to ask any questions to them? As they're just sitting there laughing about it.
So, what did you say it happened to Vol? He was sleeping on the job?
No, I wasn't sleeping. I just got hit really hard. I had to lay down for a second.
He tripped.
He rested for a second.
And when he tried to get back up, he slipped in the mud. When he tried to get back up again, then he had a cramp in his leg.
Massive cramp, right? You know, it's the worst, like right through the hamstring. I don't even know what that is right now in this time frame, but.
Did any of them call Lyra by her name?
Yeah, they've said Ira.
Hang on.
Hang
on 1 second. Hey, Matt?
Yeah.
The Avengers movie comes out Friday, right?
It comes out soon. I don't know exactly when. I think it is Friday.
Okay.
Or
I think
Thursday.
Matt said he thinks it's Friday, so maybe I can make it Saturday. Will that work? Okay. I will talk to you later. Bye.
I want to take a closer
Okay.
look.
Sorry. What's what?
Yeah, they do refer to each other as name. You will gather that their names, by the way, now, because they will refer to each other. Ira is the half-drow. They keep referring to the barbarian as Alpha. Bones is what they call the pirate. They have only called the mage Phoenix so far, and the tiefling is Legla.
Is what?
Legra.
Like
Leg?
what?
He cut
Legra.
out the-
Yeah,
he
you
cut
keep
out the
cutting
exact
out.
same spot
Legra.
when he's.
Legra.
Like all I could hear, it just sounded the halfling is called leg.
Yeah,
Tiefling.
like it,
Like
Tiefling
the
is
two
called
rhymes
leg,
in a row, yeah.
and I'm
it
like
was
leg.
cut out at G both times. It was amazing.
Yeah, Legra. Legra.
Okay.
Like
That's hilarious. What?
Allegra used to be the fat burning supplement, if I remember correctly. That was years ago. Then I think it got banned.
Probably.
Fair enough. Speaking of, to the other two of you that live in the United States, do not eat any romaine lettuce
Yeah. Well,
if you have not heard.
I am aware. It's from a specific area, though.
It's from a specific area, but some of that has made its way into Nebraska. I don't know about Missouri, but yeah, for the record, John, for at the very least, the time being, stay away from romaine lettuce.
Stay away from salads. Salads are going to kill you.
Yes, basically that is the crux of the argument.
I mean, I'm curious because I have no idea what you're talking about.
There's a farm in Idaho, maybe, I don't know, but they found E. coli in a bunch of their romaine lettuce.
Ah. Now, does that also apply to if you get, like spinach salad or,
Right now it's just romaine, and I'm fairly certain it's been removed from all shelves. But, give it some time, I guess.
yeah, I mean, fair thought.
Because it's Seward Walmart.
I mean, fortunately, I, eat like an idiotic teenager anyway, so, I don't really need to worry about it.
That works.
That's fair.
So the two of you will come down. Seeing them all jovially talking to each other.
I am going to find a place to sit and grab a mug. We were just having breakfast, but a drink sounds good to me.
Boris is bringing out stuff on a regular, or trying to keep up with everything right now. You do hear him muttering in Dwarven. Anybody that speaks Dwarven, we have got to get some bartenders, or bar workers.
We don't need manpower, we need bartenders.
Hey, first things first, man.
We first drink and then go to war.
Yeah?
I will
So when we
thank...
get stabbed, we won't feel it.
I will thank Boris for
Well,
his service.
keeps going and grabbing things. You get the feeling that half the reason he's sticking around is because he's, intrigued now. Yeah.
Curious. Fair. I will introduce myself to the three that I have not met and cordially greet the two that I have.
Yeah. Gruck's sitting there, like, guiding you. Yeah, no, that's the one, right? Yeah, that one.
Well, he gave me a fair description. I'm fairly certain I'm smart enough to figure it the fuck out.
Yeah.
Be like
the
if
guy-
you met me and Levi, and John was like, Levi's the big one.
There are three guys that are big. He's like the guy on the left, no, the other left.
Yeah.
It
Or,
has,
Ira
is the one who actually does most of speaking, by the way. And she'll
Fair.
be, it has been quite a bit of time, Saxon. It is nice to see you again. We just wanted to make sure you didn't forget about us. Wanted to stop by and say hi.
Of course.
You've come at an interesting time.
Yes.
How
There's,
I
there's a
apologize.
lot going on.
I apologize for making you wait, and again, I would, if no one has, I apologize for the state of things at the house. We are currently redecorating.
Newly appointed nobles, I understand. It takes a while to get everything up to the way you wish. Looks like you're doing very well for yourselves.
Thank you.
Are you trying to find a place for your arm or what?
I was cracking my shoulder.
Oh,
Like, that was an OOC, thank you. I was just literally just cracking my shoulder.
We do have a tiny request, though, if you do not mind. We do not wish to invade on your hospitality here, but we do require a place to stay for a few days. We have some business here in Seaport, and we're hoping that we can have a more comfortable environment to stay in. If you have a spare room, it doesn't even need to be furnished. Just a place to lay our heads when we're not busy.
Have there been beds placed in the downstairs already where they're shown?
Yes, those are there. Like these here, those are bunk beds.
Okay, that's what I was making sure of. We do have some bunks prepared in the basement if it would be more comfortable for you to stay on the ground floor. I'm certain that we can move a few of them.
Oh, that would be greatly appreciated. And she sits back and takes a small sip of whatever liquid she has. Probably not alcoholic. Probably milk or something like that. It's so early in the morning for her. You can definitely tell she's definitely looking you over, trying to get a gauge on you.
if you don't mind my asking, what brings you to town?
We're tracking something for our great leader. Something that was stolen from him. And the trail has led here so far. I don't think it's going to end here. And here being Seaport, not your house. But there are things that need to be retrieved.
Huh. Interesting.
Everybody's just quiet. She's
And,
being purposefully
well-
vague on that, obviously.
I am. Hang on 1 second. I'm gonna do.
Yeah, but it was entertaining.
The,
the fact that you were saying dun, dun, dun.
Depending on specific details, of course. We might be able to offer assistance for
Oh, thank God.
for a reasonable compensation.
Or are you going to say Saxon? Or what are you trying to incite Saxon?
I'm just seeing if she's telling the truth.
She is. She seems to be forthright.
Okay. And I honestly, when it beeped up and I looked, all I saw was the red 9, and I'm like, motherfucker! Oh
No,
wait,
that
no,
was
that
mine.
was Zach's. Okay, never mind. I will interject there. Hey, Grok, they're our friends. I'm certain that if something has been taken from them, if we have the moments to spare, we'd be more than happy to help you out at no cost.
She kind of nods. As of right now, we're just tracking. Our great leader is more than capable of taking care of issues on his own, if need be, but he doesn't enjoy doing the footwork.
Fair.
Due to the fact that she's mentioned our great leader a couple of times, can I make a history roll or something on any signias or banners or anything of that nature that they have on their persons?
You sure can, actually. Okay, you definitely recognize her signet ring, as what you were told. A noble house of Previa, specifically a senator, because it has a certain crest on there as well.
Right.
There doesn't seem to be anything specifically about Bones, any specific items or emblems on him. Phoenix definitely has an emblem on him that on his book actually. It is an evocation symbol.
Fire.
Yeah, he likes fire.
It's like,
He likes fire a lot. So evocation. And the other thing you'll notice is both Alpha and Legra have brands on their shoulders. The brand, you will realize, they're two different brands actually. They are symbols of being slaves, actually. However, both of them have a large scratch through it, an obvious wound that has gone through it, purposefully done, meaning they were probably ex-slaves. You would recognize, actually, the one is from Zaglon, and the other one is actually from Thorburn. So, past that, you do not see any symbols or anything on them that actually point to their great leader.
Right.
So, yeah, just kind of a tense moment as this is going on. Nobody's saying anything, nobody's acting really. But there is definitely tension in the air. Vol doesn't sense it at all.
Figures.
And she says this, she's looking straight at her plate. She goes, and just so you know, secrets have been kept safe. And will continue to be kept safe. And she says that looking up as she takes a drink. She doesn't look at anybody in particular. She just kind of looks at everybody.
I will gently place whatever fork, glass I happen to have in my hand at the moment. Look over at Grok and go, I told you they were friends.
That is very much appreciated.
Yeah. So it just kind of everybody awkwardly sitting there. If you guys had any questions or wanted to talk to them about anything, they will. Other than that, Vol will start talking about other battles you guys have had in places. Probably in the latest dungeon, and how he single-handedly wooed a goddess in the dungeon.
Oh, I am totally calling him out. Think of it. You tagged along, sir.
this will be fun. The funniest thing it will not be if I would have popped out of the corner and said, "But I pimped them."
But I pimped them. And when you say you tagged along, Vol will look at you and go, "You remember it your way, I'll remember it mine." You know, just talking about various conquests, trying to break the that'll break the tension a little bit at least.
I would announce to them after they've finished with their meal and their drinks that we could go upstairs and pick out rooms that would be fitting for them.
They just need one room. They don't even they're planning on basically crashing, maybe grabbing a meal here but not doing much more than that. They do have their own ship outside. It is a humble ship, but they do have a ship of their own. Well, Bones has a ship.
That's fair. I have no like. I will. If they don't care about sleeping in the basement, totally fine. If they would like to have, again, if there's a suitable room on the ground floor, not on the floor we sleep on.
Yeah, there's actually nothing in the basement for places. It's actually on the main floor. This will be the room that he'd recommend for them right now. He's intending, Boris is intending for that room to be for staff of servants at some point. But as of right now, it's not being used. So.
Okay, and again, I will apologize for the meager accommodations. We are still getting set up. But I would assume in the future, if they needed a room, we would have something far more suitable.
She nods. I have grown past my younger years requirements for certain accommodations. There is something to be said for a life more ruggedly lived. Toughens you up.
Fair enough.
Can't argue with that.
And despite the fact that she actually does not look like she has a lot of muscle mass, she does have a basically aura of strength around her. She does look like she carrying herself like she's extremely strong. Actually, looking at her muscle mass, you're still not sure exactly how she's walking around with this plate mail. But she's doing so effortlessly.
I mean, besides that, she was a more capable fighter than Gruck was at the time of the battle.
Mm-hmm.
Might not be the case now, but
It's still the case.
Yeah, but by how much now?
Well, there's one way to find out.
Poke her with a stick!
I mean, I was going to say two ways. Friendly sparring is not necessarily a problem.
No.
At level 9, I can tell you. I can insight their level, their class level, at level 9.
I could. I don't know. We see what they're So what are your plans for the rest of today? It is fairly early yet.
We needed to make sure that we had accommodations first, but we do plan on, in an hour or two or so at least, heading into Seaport and starting our investigation.
Are you are you familiar with Seaport, or would you like a guide around town? We have spent a decent amount of time here. We know our way around.
Bones has spent an ample amount of time here. I've spent a little bit. If you wish to accompany us, that is fine, but there are things that we will have to do without more sensitive information. I'm sure you understand.
Of course.
So if you wish to accompany, that is fine, but it is not required.
I was planning on making a trip to the local alchemist anyway, so I could for a time, and then leave you be when it is necessary.
She nods. That'll work. By the way, they still are staying within that group. Like, they're all sitting within 10 feet of each other.
That's fine.
OOC, you want to have that bonus to saving throws if you're fighting a dragon.
No, it's kind of what I figured was going on.
So,
Well, if once I finish my meal, I'll stand up. You're welcome to stay here for as long as you need. If there's anything else I could do for you and I am not readily available, please seek out another member of the household and they will get a hold of me. And then I will bow and excuse myself from the room.
They actually, when you do excuse yourself, all 5 of them do stand up. You know, because a noble is stood up, they'll stand up with you. You know, as is polite. Until you have gotten so far away from them, and then they sit back down, keep eating, drinking. Yeah.
Curious about where this is going to go more than anything.
Well, it is definitely an interesting thing because right now you can tell that both people are just testing each other's waters, as it is.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it'll be another hour or so, and they will be getting ready to go into Seaport. You are more than able to join them on their ship if you wish, as they go over there. The ship is, it's actually very similar to the ship you were on before, the one where you fought Isaac on. It's the same class ship, a Caravel. And despite going against the wind, it moves very swiftly thanks to the conjuration of some wind from their wizard to cause it to go in the direction they want it to go. Anybody that wants to go to town is more than willing to, or they're more than willing to take in. They will be coming back tonight. If anybody wanted to go into town at this point.
I'm good.
Zach?
I want to do some sneaking around.
Where are you sneaking around to? I did see you roll that.
Yeah, I wanted to do it, to whisper it, but yeah, anyway. I'll speak a little bit to Ambrosia.
Okay.
Basically, I tell her to make sure that she'll prepare a room and buy everything that's needed for a top-notch alchemist lab.
Alright.
And I give her 500. Did you say?
Yeah, 500 for a top-notch alchemist lab.
Okay.
She will actually ask Saxon later where to put it. She recommends in the basement somewhere, but your choice on where.
Wait, start over?
Where to put an alchemy lab.
Somewhere not so close to the entrance. A little bit hidden. Will be best.
She will recommend either like this room as a research lab or this room here.
See, that's kind of, I was thinking this room, but I wasn't sure if she had enough space.
Yeah,
Because if it needs to overflow into the room adjoining it, I don't see an issue with that. Or, you know, there's always here, but I was kind of hoping that would become like a meeting room / training room.
Yeah, you guys are gonna make the meeting room here.
Yeah.
So, yeah, she'll work on putting it back there then at some point. She does tell you, Zach, that it will probably be tomorrow before she has a chance to start on that, since unexpected guests have arrived, and she needs to actually get provisions for that first. Because there is a certain caliber that needs to be presented, being nobles.
Right. When Ambrosia has a moment away from anybody else, I would like to speak with her.
Okay. She is planning on going into town shortly after they leave via teleportation. So if you had something to say to her, you could say it before she leaves. Zach, are you doing anything else with your sneak before I move on?
I want to go to the town as well.
Okay. Are you sneaking onto the ship, or are you literally just going onto the ship with them?
I wanna. How long will it take me to get to the town
What do you mean?
on foot?
There's no way to get on foot there without like massive climb checks.
Massive climb track.
Massive climb checks. The only way really to get to your estate is via the water. There is no
one of the
actual
reasons-
road or anything like that. So
Yeah, it's one of the reasons why we liked it.
Can I go with Ambrosia? She said that she's going to town.
yes, she can teleport you there, although she will not have room to teleport you back. She will tell you that.
Okay. I'm gonna take a close look at their ship to make sure that I can go back as well.
Oh yeah, it's a large enough ship.
No, I mean to recognize it.
Oh yeah. Oh no, yeah. It's easy to spot. It is ostentatiously overtly piratey, without being a pirate.
Okay.
Because he's not actually a pirate. He just really likes pirates.
Likes to pretend.
Yeah. So yeah. Yeah, she'll take you there, and you can get back the other way. Saxon, you will have a chance to talk to her before she leaves.
I'm more than aware that she's probably going to fill in her mother with the various goings on. If the madame has anything she would like to say to me, I am all ears. However, I would appreciate it if... How should I say this? I would appreciate it if the actual dragon is not informed.
Okay. Yeah. She can
Because
appreciate that.
he has been a little reckless up to this point, and I don't want him to do anything that would compromise the fact that I'm currently the one in danger.
Yeah. Which is what the mother wanted you guys to be there for, so this is a good thing.
I assumed, but, you know, if the mother wants to say something to me, like, I am at her service, is basically what I'm trying to get across.
Alright. That
And then
works.
I will bid her good travels.
Alright. So, going to town. Zach, what did you want to do?
Am I the only one who got to town?
Nope. Gruck is there too. I'm just going to you first.
Okay. I wanna go to the Thieves Guild.
Okay. And Gruck, you said you're going to the Alchemist, right?
Yeah, it's all.
Okay. So they will, when they get to town, you can see that they kind of, they're talking about ways to go about it. They're going to go hit up the bars to see for information, starting with, because that's always the best place. And then they have mentioned going to kind of glance at you contacts after that.
I would make reference that big fan of the Red Dragon Inn. I've been there numerous times. I used to live there before we became nobles. So the bartender is good and not afraid of conversation. And I would also point out the I don't remember the name of the inn. It's the one closer to the docks, the Dwarven bartender, and make the same comments there, that he's a very friendly fellow and does not shy away from conversation, appreciates a tip every now and again, but what bartender doesn't?
It's true. I gotta see what his name is. I forgot. The Sailor's Dive.
Yeah, Jeff. And I suppose after just making those comments, then unless there's something else you need from me, I will see you later, I suppose.
All right. Yeah, so you'll be able to make your way off on your own. Zach, it does take a little bit to get to the Thieves Guild itself, mostly because you gotta, not be seen as you're doing so. It is in one of the old catacombs, is where they have built it up, where it has been filled. It's actually been emptied of bodies. But it is where the Thieves Guild is at.
Okay.
So you will be able to get in there. There is... Basically, there's a person at the entrance that looks like a crypt keeper. You give him the code, you get past him, basically. But he's actually a Thieves Guild member. So you'll be able to get past him. There is not a lot of people there this time of morning. Only about maybe 3 or 4 people milling about. There is areas where they have definitely been stashing goods. You can see piles of various things in very separated piles. Some coins, some artwork, stuff like that. Not like overflowing amounts, but a good amount. And there is one guy for that area. You can tell there's at least somebody there all the time, a bookkeeper type thing. Past that, you'll see a couple people just like sharpening knives and stuff like that.
What was the name of the guy that brought me here?
He was never given a name. I never actually gave him a name. He was just called Master Thief.
Master Thief.
Oh wait, no, I did. People call him E. He is Mr. E.
Can you write it down? How do you write it down? Oh, jeez. Okay. Mr. E. Okay.
Yeah,
that was the guy that was with me at the house as well?
Yes.
Is he around?
He is not. Not that you see, at least. You will see somebody, one of the guys you recognize. He is. You can see he's carefully applying poison into some bolts for hand crossbows.
I want to leave a message around that I want to talk to him about. I have a business proposition.
I'm gonna run to the restroom. I'll be right back.
All right. So as he's carefully applying the poisons and putting them in, putting it into a very special place, you can tell it's very padded and protected area for his bolts that are poisoned. Well, what type of business proposition?
One that pays well.
Well, messages tend to get lost sometimes from here to there. I mean, if you want the message to get to them.
How much is it does it usually go for, Matt? This kind of thing.
It's just usually a few gold, at most.
I'll give him 5 gold pieces.
All right, I'll make sure he gets the message. Where can he find you at? He says as he just kind of puts them in his pocket or in his belt pouch.
It will be best if he can come tonight at the estate that he left me.
Very well. He goes back to poisoning the blades there, or the.
Can I just say, every time I see you write Mr. E, I think of Batman Forever.
Yeah, no, I expect you to.
Okay.
I just think it's funny. Like, it just still makes me laugh. So.
I'm just like, Jesus Christ, it's Jim Carrey.
So.
Oh, right,
Which explains why he sucks so bad at doing traps, huh?
Probably, yeah. You never saw Batman Forever?
I saw it only once, and it was long ago.
Oh, well, I mean, it's lighthearted and irreverent. Like, it's a campy-ass fucking superhero movie, but it's fun.
Yeah, it really is.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger and...
No, that's
Jim
Batman
Carrey.
and Robin.
Oh, never mind.
This one's Tommy Lee Jones and Jim Carrey. Like, this is Two-Face and the Riddler. Not the Schwarzenegger was Mr. Freeze.
Although
Yeah,
that
I know.
one was campy as hell, too.
I know who he played, but I thought that it was only one movie with both of them for some reason.
Nah, it's just 2 different movies.
All right, we're gonna have to take a quick 5-minute break. I need to go say goodnight to the kids. So you dropped off your message. Is there anything else you wanted to do, Greed? Zach?
Both of them. I wanna go and buy myself some goggles of night.
All right. They do not sell that on the God's Isle. You will have to actually go to Zahor to acquire magical items for purchase.
What about Awin?
Awin actually has some of the least amount of magical items in the world.
What are the chances? So I have no way of buying them, basically.
Yeah, Rafa is going to be your best choice, which is like a 1.5-week journey, or talk to Gruck. He can get you there a lot quicker.
I mean, it's not super cheap, but yeah.
It's not much more than it is for a ship because of your rank.
Well, true, I suppose, yeah.
And how long and how much would it take to import?
To hire somebody to import it for you, it's about a 25% markup.
Is it cheaper than going there back and forth?
No.
For me, anyway? No.
No, it'd be cheaper to teleport there, buy it, and come back. Zahor has some very strange laws when it comes to magical items, so it's a little confusing, and I won't get into it all right now. But suffice it to say that the first one is not taxed, but after that it becomes taxed. So you want to get one yourself. So
what about a cloak?
Like, magic items aren't for sale in Seaport, typically. There is, like, minor magic items, like the common ones will be for sale. But anything rarer than common is not for sale in Seaport.
Common or uncommon?
Just common.
Because, well, common usually doesn't have magic, does it?
Actually, Xanathar's Guide has common magic items. Such as the Cloak of Billowing. And that staff you got that extends, those are common magic items.
How much would it cost me to fix the staff, by the way? I forget about it.
Actually, to get it fixed itself, won't actually be too bad. About 20 gold.
Really?
Yeah.
I want to fix it.
Yeah. You could take it to Estal. He can fix it for about 20 gold.
I want it fixed. It was awesome and useful.
It is useful. 10-foot poles are always useful. So.
And I'll try to find Gruck afterwards.
Alright, well, you'll find Gruck at Estal's. So we'll go to Gruck first. Alright, so you go to Estal. Hello there. How are you doing today?
I am good. How are you?
Doing well. I see you made it back alive. That's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Yeah,
and
we
you
did.
See him write something in the book.
Can I see what he wrote in the book?
It looks like he crossed the line out.
He's still alive. Damn it.
Well, I hope that business for you has been well in my absence.
It's not been bad. It's not been bad at all.
And obviously, I am here inquiring about a number of things as per usual. One, do you have any bags of holding available for purchase? You've mentioned them before and your ability to make them. I know I haven't been to Thorburn to try to get any of the Displacer skin yet in order for you to do so, but I was wondering if you had any on hand.
I do not have any on hand, but yeah, you get me the Displacer skin, I could definitely do it.
Okay, well, I might be making a trip to Thorburn in upcoming months, so we'll see what happens on that regard. One of the other things that I would like to talk to you about is I am looking to make a potion that basically would be it would take a certain effect of a certain spell and be able to apply it to myself through a potion.
That is possible, yes, yeah. It just depends on the spell.
The spell specifically is, it's called Enhanceability, and the effect I'm looking for is Owl's Wisdom.
Absolutely. Actually, I already know how to make all them. They're pretty easy to make. I mean, as far as potions go, they are less complicated than some, but they are still costly. They usually cost to manufacture, and this is raw materials. Do note, about 200 to 300 gold.
What's the duration on effect like that from a potion?
Typically 1 hour.
Hmm.
However, there is some mutagens you can add in to get it up to a day. That does increase the cost, though.
If I was to find those myself and any of the other ingredients, would you help me put them together at a reduced cost?
Yeah, absolutely.
If I may, then I would take down the list of ingredients and specifically the mutagens that he's talking about.
Yeah. He will get you the list. It is like some. It's various things from various creatures as well as some herbs, but it has like ichor from certain creatures and stuff that is more magical in nature. I will get you the full list later on, mostly because I do not have the ability to whip it out my ass right now.
Right.
So I will have to actually look up things on that one to give you the proper list. But he will give you the list, and he'll also.
Okay.
So one of the things I do remember is when you went there, you were going to be looking out for some molds and whatnot for me. Did you find any of that stuff?
I don't remember. I know I brought it up like once or twice. I don't remember if I actually did or not.
You did. You actually did take quite a bit of stuff. You had like the glowing mold, that slippery stuff, the yellow molds. You got some lime for You got a bunch of crap.
That's right. That's right. Okay, I definitely remember the lime and the glowing algae.
So, you even got him some tadpoles. I don't know if you remember that one.
I do not remember that one.
You got him some tadpoles because you thought they would be useful for something.
Oh, bloody hell, you're right. I need to make better notes when I'm going through a dungeon like that.
Thankfully, I took the notes pretty well. But yes, in the future, you will want to.
Oh, yeah. I really should, because I keep a notebook here anyway. That way I can do that.
Yeah, I take the notes when I watch and edit the videos. I write down the notes. And then, so there may have been some alchemical stuff you got in the last 4 weeks of the game that I don't have written down. I only have the stuff from the first 4 or 5 gaming sessions of the dungeon.
Well, I know I don't remember anything from the last 2, and then I was not here the next 2, so chances are probably not. But yeah, I'll give those to him. And then there's one other thing specifically that I got
credit for this, or did you want to have payout?
Let's just go with store credit for right now, because then it might come in handy later on, or maybe if you're willing to do something for me, we can call it even. Specifically, while we were in that location, I came across something that I would very much like to see if it can be replicated.
Now, OOC, who has which part of it?
It's not what Greed's going off about.
Okay.
Oh, it's not? Okay.
No, this that I'm bringing up is about those darts that were attracted by the perfume, or attracted to the perfume.
All right. He'll inspect it for a few minutes and play around with it a bit, and after a few minutes of it, he'll I think I can do that. Some of these ingredients. So in this, and he keeps sniffing it. I don't recognize the scent of. It'll take a little bit of. It'll take a little bit for me to figure out what they are, the base components of the ingredients here for the perfume. As for the darts, though, yeah, that's an easy thing to set up.
Any ideas what you would need from me, or how long before we could produce more of them?
It takes some research on my part, and then after that, I could tell you more later. Give me a day to inspect this perfume here, and I'll be able to tell you more.
Absolutely.
As for what you have given me so far, minus the research costs, and how many of them dots do you want to make?
I still have 6, so even 1 or 2 whenever would be fine. But quite frankly, I will be looking. I don't have a set number in mind, if that makes sense to you.
So just keep making them till you run out of gold?
Maybe not right away. Give me a month before we start producing them in any sort of heavy fashion.
Okay. So what would you like me to do with your money that you have here then? Because minus the research costs, you still have about 500 gold in store credit.
If you want to just hold on to it for now, and then if I get the necessary ingredients for making a bag of holding or the potion, then we could take it out of that. Does that work for you?
It does. I could take part of this gold that you'd be basically leaving here on credit, invest it, and I could actually get the ingredients to make a bag of holding if you are interested.
Yeah, sure.
Give me an insight check, by the way. All right. Bag of holdings typically costs about 500 gold anyway. That's the first thing to know. Second, that's a good insight. He is definitely trying to pull a fast one on you. You're pretty sure with the 500 gold, he's going to be able to make 2 or 3 bags of holding and then sell the other 2.
I would like to then.
Okay, well then I'm going to counter with okay, take the 500 gold, get the ingredients for the bag of holding, and then I'll take 1 1/3 of your profit from the rest.
I know I'm dealing with you for a reason. Shrewd businessman. You know what? I think you got a deal there. You got a deal.
All right, I will shake your hand and leave.
So, I was hoping you wouldn't roll so well on insight, but you did have the chance of it, so.
Yeah, I'm going to have to remember to make more of a note of that whenever I'm talking to him.
He is upfront about his business stuff, but he also is a businessman.
Yeah.
So he does try to make a profit.
Can't fault a man for trying to make a profit.
Nope.
Can only fault a man if he tries to make too much of a profit.
Yeah.
And he was still willing to give you your gold worth. You know?
Oh, I mean, yeah. Technically, it's just
so it's not like he was a dishonest businessman.
Yeah, he's just getting a little extra on the side that he's not mentioning.
Yeah. You kind of wonder how much he's done this in the past too.
I mean, yeah. But I'm not surprised by it.
No, I wouldn't be surprised by it in the least. But
and I certainly do like the connection and the relationship with the man.
So,
because that will come in.
As you're getting ready to leave, that's when Zach will walk in.
Hey, Zach. I got him warmed up for you.
Hey, I was actually searching for you.
Oh, what's up?
I need a little bit of your help.
Okay.
I can't. How about we take a walk instead of talking here?
Fair enough.
Are you finished, or do you still have things
No,
to buy?
I just got done.
Okay, let's go then. Well, I want to buy something that I can't find here, a magical item. And from what I found out, the best place to buy it is in Zahur.
I don't remember the map. Is Rafa in Zahur?
Yes, Rafa is in Zahur. You actually are on the map, I think. Yeah, I put you guys on the world map.
No, I just didn't look around. I need to zoom back out. Yeah, okay.
Saxon.
Yes, sir.
Look at your messages.
I will. Yeah, Zahur. Yeah, I was at a place in Rafa, and there's a guy there that I struck something of a bargain with, but I don't really have anything to sell him unless you have items that you don't want.
then we could go talk to him. And actually, it probably wouldn't hurt to talk to him anyway.
You guys do have 6 items in your magic item vault. If you wanted to take anything to at least quid pro quo on it.
Look through there and see what we all got. Maybe just to get the ball rolling a little bit. We should probably keep the mace. The wand of lightning bolts didn't Saxon take that?
He has it. Well, had it. He used it, but I don't know if he was going to keep it. Because is that one require attunement?
I don't think so.
Yes,
it does.
Okay.
And as of right now, Saxon has 3 slots of attunement. So.
Well, we could maybe take the dust of disappearance and the ring of resistance just to kind of wet his whistle a little bit, or we could keep all of it and make another offer him a deal,
Or at least see if he's interested in selling us numerous garden variety basic items for us to stockpile.
Are you aware of the prices that usually go on there?
I could maybe tell you one if I remember it, but I'm not like super familiar though.
Okay.
We could get there using the teleportation circles of the Mystic Sanctum because I'm a member, and I believe that is, was it 50 gold apiece because you're going with me.
Let me tell you the price. Hold on, I think I have it still written. Where's the world?
By 50 gold a piece, you mean 50 gold a person?
yeah.
Okay.
That's for round trip. 25 gold away.
Oh, okay. I thought it was 50 each way.
No, because your rank is 25 gold away.
So it's back and forth.
50 apiece to go there and back.
Okay.
You guys will have to take a boat back to your. Have to grab a dinghy or something. Rent a dinghy. Go back and get whatever magic items you want, or make the trip tomorrow.
We'll take a small boat. It's a very small boat.
Well, it depends if we want to actually take items there to sell. Otherwise, we could just go straight from Seaport. It depends on whether or not you want to sell anything.
But part of me
It
likes
depends.
the idea of holding the magic items that we have in order to have a stockpile for later.
Well, depends on the prices.
I mean, that's true. Actually, the dust of disappearance would probably be pretty damn valuable too.
Yeah, but I don't think we'll ever use it. But anyway.
Probably not. Actually, no. We should probably go back to the estate that way we can talk it over with Vol and Saxon and see what they want to do.
Yeah. By the way, do you still have some of the materials for the alchemies that we got from the dungeon?
No.
He did not sell the poisons that you're. If that's what ones you're asking about.
No, I'm asking character generally.
Well, not a couple of things.
What did we keep?
The only thing I had that I got rid of was the glowing algae, the lime from the walls, the moss.
He also had a small sack, a small bag of miscellaneous herbs he had picked up in the forest as well. And it.
And that perfume.
Matt,
Yes.
would I be able to do the potion that Grok wants, but I don't know about? Because I'm making a lab as well.
Okay, repeat that question one more time, sorry.
Okay, the potion of enhanced ability.
Okay.
Would I be able to make it?
Do you have proficiency in alchemy yet?
Yeah.
You should be able to. It is a higher DC check. But there is a good chance you could.
What are you two guys snickering about?
Nothing.
Warwick is being Warwick. We'll just go with that.
And I'm totally calling him out on his dumbassery. Although this might get everybody killed.
I have to ask, Zach. Do you mention that that you can make potions and whatnot?
Yeah.
Well, then my response is I appreciate it, but I do still want to deal with the stall because I would like to develop a relationship with him that I can use later.
He also does make other things other than alchemy, so he makes magic items.
Well, that too.
What do you make magic items with? Blacksmithing?
Nope. He makes wondrous items, actually, is what he does.
Oh, he's a tinker. What's the class named?
He actually is technically a rogue.
Okay, that's good for me for now.
He technically a rogue. However, he does have he has 2 levels of rogue, and the rest of it is spellcasting class. You're not sure of which one, but that's why he's really good at business deals. And to be fair, he is a tiefling. He is another tiefling you have met, but Legra is the first female tiefling I think you've met.
Hey, Matt.
Yes.
Out of curiosity, or just as a thing, Warwick is more than aware that anything I say to him out loud is just for show, right?
Right.
Okay, good.
So.
Okay.
If this comes back to bite us and I have to chew him out, in his head, he's going to be getting a high five.
In the party, okay. At this point, your party is fully aware of Warwick's existence. I will have to say that. Whether they see him or not, it's a whole other thing. But they are fully aware.
No, that's like I have at this point. It has been stated on the record in a courtroom that I have an imp.
Yeah.
I am more than aware that people are aware that I have one. I have him stay invisible so that he can surprise people should he need to be. But when I speak to him publicly, like out loud, especially if other people are present, he knows that that's all for show for them. The things I say in his head, like the telepathic communication, that's us having fun. Or that's when I'm being serious.
By the way, what do you have for evocations? Mask of many faces and misty vision. Okay. So you actually do not have the ability to communicate with him for further distances yet.
Not yet.
So, okay. Only if he's within 100 feet of you. I need to keep that in mind. I have let you communicate with him further than that a couple times, accidentally.
Oh.
Well,
in that case, I apologize.
That's okay. I figured that's an invocation you will get at some point.
I think I get one more next level, and I'll just take it then, so that it can make up for whatever I've done beforehand. Will that work?
Yep. That'll work. All right. So, when are you guys going to go to Zahor?
After we go back to the estate and bring it up with everybody else, Vol and Saxon.
By the way, Grok.
Yeah.
Do you remember the gas that we found?
The
You
guest
know,
we found what?
yeah, as a
Peacock?
trap. As a trap. Before the vampire.
Oh, the sphere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sphere with gas.
Yeah. What about it?
Please don't sell that. Or
Uh,
mention it to anybody.
No, I wasn't planning on it. You already said that you wanted to do something with it.
Yeah, I have something in mind about that.
Gruck,
Yeah. Yeah.
Just-
No, that's fine. It was smaller stuff that I wanted to deal with.
Gruck, just a quick thing of something you would have OOC known to pick up from his stall. If you want to just take 10 gold off your character sheet, you want to pick up a small lead line box.
Oh.
And that is something you guys had talked about before because you have a cursed item that you wanted to keep. And that's the best way to keep it so that you're not, activating it.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Yeah, because now we can find a way to put the rock in it.
all right. Yeah, no, I'm just assuming you guys figured out a way to. We'll just... It may have taken a third level spell, but you got a way to put it in there, so... So yeah, when you gonna head back to the estate?
I'm good.
Okay. Are you guys just gonna like rent a dinghy? You guys have a dinghy back at the
How much is it? How much is it to buy one?
Let's buy
I
one.
mean, like,
How
really,
much
wasn't it like 15 gold or something?
I think it's a little bit more than that. Let me open up the. It's in the player's handbook. I'm trying to get to it quick. Mounts and vehicles. A rowboat is 50 gold.
And to rent one, how much is it?
5 gold for the day.
I don't know. I'm not a renter and I don't want to bring it back, so I'll pay 50 gold.
You guys do have one already at the mansion.
Yeah, but we're gonna end up having a lot of people theoretically in the long run, so it'll come in handy probably regardless.
All right. Well, a rowboat does come with 2 oars, so you'll be able to row yourself back. So, yeah, 50 gold for that then.
Hey, Matt,
Yeah.
can I... You feel free to say no to this, but I don't believe, ever used Misty Visions.
No, you have not.
So can I take the one that allows me to talk to him now, and I'll just take guarantee myself Misty Visions
When
upon
you're
next level? Since
believe
I've
you can.
already used the other one.
Yeah, I believe you can. Let me just double check on that. I'm just saying because I want to make sure that you can take that invocation right now.
It's Pact of the Chain, which is the one I have, because it's fine familiar.
Yeah. I don't remember if it was like a 5th level requirement.
It is not. I'm looking
Case-
at it right now.
Which one is it called?
Voice of the Chainmaster.
Okay, yeah.
Prerequisite Pact of the Chain.
Okay.
Like, I can't, but since I've already used it, and then I'll guarantee that I take Misty Visions next time, but that way it sort of still works for what I've already done.
That works.
So that it's not like I'm breaking the rules.
That works for me.
Okay.
Did you know about the new one? Have you looked at Xanathar's Guide to Everything?
I have not.
There is a few new evocations in there that you may want other than Misty Visions. One of them, as long as your imp is within so many feet of you, any healing done to you is maximized.
Oh, nice.
I think it was. It's basically what it is. I'm trying to think of what it's called.
Like if for story reasons, since I didn't already have it, if you want to fuck me on something, that's fine. It's my fault, and I don't mean to have cheated beforehand.
Yeah, it's just.
But
I don't know why, but I assumed you had it.
I think that's what I was playing like I had, but I would have written it down wrong or whatever, but I wasn't intentionally trying to get away with something.
It happens. Now I'm trying to find it. Gift of the Ever-Living Ones. Whenever you regain hit points while you're familiar with 100 feet of you, treat any dice rolled to determine hit points you regain as having rolled their maximum value for you.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's a nice one. What are you laughing about?
Just the last thing that he said, he wasn't like playing to try to get away with anything, or I don't remember
Well,
exactly what
I
the thing
wasn't
was.
trying to cheat
like-
as far as the character goes.
As far as rules go.
Yeah, like, I will try to get away with a lot of things,
Dude,
but I'm not trying to break any rules in order to make my character more powerful than he is.
Yeah, at least not blatantly often.
Never intentionally.
Rules, D&D rules. In-game, that's a whole nother
In-game,
story.
yeah. No, like D&D rules. I'm not trying to make the character more powerful than he actually is.
It
Yeah.
will take an hour to row back to the manor,
that's all right.
and you guys will
Can we
have a
take
chance to talk to
turns?
Saxon.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm a noble. You should be rowing me.
Yeah, but I don't have the strength. It will take us like 7 or 8 hours to get there.
So take a nap. Take your long rest.
No, I don't have it in me to do that. Just because I don't want to wait that long.
All right, so you'll get back to town, or get back to the manor.
And that's the power of having a strength.
So you guys have 7 items that are in your magic item vault. And Saxon, you are involved in this conversation, I'm assuming, at this point. Plus,
Okay.
Yeah.
it's actually technically 6 items plus scrolls and potions. So,
Basically, the point is, Zach wants to go to Rafa to buy a goggles of night. The guy in Rafa is the one that I made a bit of a deal with to have first pick of any items that I come across. Doing so ensured that I got a good deal on I don't whatever it was that I bought. I don't remember. I think it was the headband. Yeah.
yep.
And basically, I would like to continue that relationship as much as possible for obvious reasons.
So anything that we don't want, unless we are intentionally going to stockpile, and even if we want to stockpile, then I maybe recommend a couple of things to give him the choice in order to, whet his appetite a little bit before trying to make a deal. What do you think?
Always better to have a friend in commerce.
Yeah. As far as things that we have that I think would fit the category, the Wand of Lightning Bolts, and I mean, I guess technically OOC, we know that it requires attunement, so I don't think any of us are going to attune to it in order to use it. So then that kind of becomes a relatively decent option. Now, that is something that might be useful to hold on to, but it could definitely be something that would get him interested beforehand. The Dust of Disappearance is kind of another one that I'm looking at, but that one might actually have some amazing application later on.
The thing to do note that Boris had talked about was keeping things for the Brotherhood, whatever you guys are going to call it.
Yeah,
as
and
well.
That's
So-
what I mean.
Things like the Wand of Lightning Bolts and the Mace +1 are actually very good for adventurers. Whereas things like the Balance of Harmony is not as useful.
Right.
Well, then my suggestion would be to keep the things that are going to be very useful for the adventurers and just bring everything else to him. Like, if it's not directly going to assist us in what we're trying to do here, I don't have a problem with it. If it has an application for our business, then I would suggest we hold on to it.
Right, the ones that are obvious in that regard are the mace, the wand, and the ring. The dust of disappearance, make no mistake, I think it would be a rather interesting thing to hold on to, but because it's, you know, it might be a better option to sell as well, just because it's not, I mean, it's uncommon and it's fairly specific. I mean, granted, that's something that Zach might be interested in, but then again,
That's what I wanted to ask. Would I be able to make more?
I don't see why not. I mean, it's just an uncommon. It's not rare.
I don't know what the ingredients for it are.
Dust of disappearance, I would consider an alchemical thing. It is not a potion or an elixir, but it is something that can be made with alchemy.
So basically with dust.
Yes.
There's plenty of that in Saxon's room.
You guys.
You can try.
You also.
But you have to deal with the pissed off imp, and I guarantee you, I've been keeping him on a chain.
Literally, it's a pact of a chain.
Yes.
You guys do also have the potions too. You have the potion of invisibility, a potion of clairvoyance, an elixir of health, and a potion of giant strength. Technically, you have 2 potions of giant strength. One of them you have is a limited use one. It was from Mistal. It was one that's only got. It was like when he was first learning to make it. He made one that wouldn't last very long, and he gave that to you. I don't know if you remember that. And then you have an actual potion of giant strength.
I had forgotten up until now.
And
yeah, because wasn't his just the hill giant?
Yeah, and the one you guys have that you found there is actually a frost giant strength.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we should probably keep those.
Well, I can most likely duplicate them.
I would probably say the potion of invisibility and the potion of clairvoyance are the ones that that I would definitely be willing to part with. The elixir of health is kind of nice.
The potion of invisibility can be pretty good, and it's very rare, actually.
I don't need it.
Yeah, it's very rare,
Yeah,
which
but
also means it's going to sell well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it can be also very useful to us, to the NPCs.
I mean, yeah, but it's gonna be
a while before that really starts to come into play, so we can acquire some more stuff later.
And the money might come in a little more useful at the moment.
Money or turn it into a new magical item.
Would I be able to get a list of ingredients of what a potion of visibility will be made of?
Yeah, you can. You basically they're like spell scrolls. You can get potion recipes. Yeah,
Okay.
for a fraction of the cost.
Then we can sell them. I only want the recipes.
No, that's something you could actually bargain for while you're down there too. Zahor is the most magical of the countries. So,
Is the recipe treated as a magical item?
technically yes.
Damn it. Okay.
So what are we thinking?
You got to make a decision
Well-
before you leave. I want to know which ones you're taking with you.
You can sell all the potions if you want, as long as you get the recipes for them.
Okay. And then
Oh, the urge to be a smartass. I'm not gonna though.
are we looking at the balance of harmony and dust of disappearance for the items?
At the moment.
And the potions.
Yeah.
Well,
the
yeah.
potions.
The potions and the dust of disappearance and the balance of harmony. Because then we can keep the mace, the wand, and the ring for people down the road. And I got a lead container for the stone.
The garnet ring is really good, actually, as well.
Yeah, so I mean, it should be. We might as well hold on to that. That could come in handy for when we send people out and shit. Okay. Go package everything up and be on the move back to
Seaport to go to the teleportation circle.
What time is it, Matt?
The time at this point would be spent a little afternoon.
How long will it take us to go back and forth?
It takes an hour to go, or to get back to Seaport is going to take an hour, and the actual travel time is hardly anything.
Yeah, we
like
should be
to
back
go,
home in, like, what, 4 hours?
Yeah, probably.
give or take. I would like to go to Zahur as well.
Okay. It will cost you each 50 gold to go down there. Now, with the way the laws work in Zahur, I don't want to get too technical, but basically, you're allowed one magic item tax-free. For every magic item you bring back into the country, you're allowed to take another one out. So, like, if you bring one to trade, you can take one out without tax-free. They encourage it, but they want to keep their surplus of magic items. So, if you each, like, okay, Zach, you have not bought a magic item there, so you can get one for tax-free. Saxon, you have not bought a magic item there, so you can get one tax-free. Gruck, you have. You will need to bring a magic item in order to take another one out. If you guys wanted to do that. The country does keep track.
The country does keep track.
They keep
Okay,
track
so-
very well.
Before we leave, I want to tell Ambrosia that Mr. E is coming by.
Okay?
And if she can entertain him until we return, it's really important that he remains here so I can talk with him.
Alright.
Entertain him.
But I don't know, make a potion which makes him go nuts for a few hours. I don't know.
Alright.
I mean, that might be a bad example. We got things there that we don't want him to get into, but
Alright, so what
Or you could always entertain him.
I mean, yeah, if she's inclined, I mean, she's a kind of free person.
kind of
Kind
papers.
of.
Write down what you're taking so I know exactly what you guys are taking with you, because I heard the conversation, but I was researching things too.
Dude, seriously, pay attention to the game. Fuck.
Jesus, what's your problem?
Actually, my problem was trying to help you out, Zach.
I know.
So, pay attention to the game. What the fuck, Matt? Just kidding. You do you, buddy.
nah. Where's that stupid letter at?
Matt,
Yes.
how does the tax work on a magical item? What does it mean exactly?
It's a service tax that you have to pay in order to take it out. It increases the cost. You have to pay the government, basically.
Well, I am curious
It
because
just
then
depends.
if because I've taken one out, I'm going to be taxed. Does that mean that I need to carry like the balance of harmony in
Yes.
order to offset? Okay,
Yes.
then I'll just make sure that I specifically carry that object in.
You'll probably also, like, OOC, because you're the one who's going to be coming here the most, you probably want to carry them all. That
I mean,
way
that's a
you
valid
actually,
point,
you
too.
offset how much you can actually take in and out with it.
Can I have one as well?
Yes.
I'm thinking of it depending on the price to take two things, depending on the price.
Okay. It does go by rarity. Like, they classify it all by rarity and stuff like that, so it is important to make sure who's carrying what, too. I don't mean to make it complicated, but that's the way the country is, so I'm making it complicated.
Nope, that's fully
Well,
appropriate in my opinion.
I have a free one, right?
You do, yeah.
So I can buy any rarity that I want with a free one.
Right. As long as you
Okay.
can afford it.
Yeah, what goggles of night, what rarity are they?
Uncommon.
So I need only something uncommon.
So
Right.
the scale would work for you. Balance of harmony.
Okay. Will the magical a potion be declared as magical item?
It is, but it's not declared as high as it would be as a normal one because it is a potion.
So
basically,
what about a very rare one?
A very rare one counts as a rare item, which is why Gruck probably should carry that one.
Yeah.
So, have you figured out which? Did you write it? Are you sending it to me or?
I'm putting it into the chat.
Okay. All right. So,
but instead of typing it all out, then I went copy paste route.
That works. All right. So for ease, I'm going to say that both that Saxon's carrying Dust of Disappearance, Balance of Harmony is being carried by Zach, and all the rest of it is being carried by Gruck to give you guys a good balance of it, so that you guys each have at least a little extra. They will inspect you as you come in. When you teleport in from the Mystic Sanctum to the Mystic Sanctum, there is a bookkeeper there that will document what you're bringing in. And then you will be allowed to go into the city. Do take 50 gold off each person for your trip there and back. And you will be able to... Let me get to Rafa.
Matt?
Yes.
What about the magical items that we are wearing?
Those are considered personal items. You are not bringing them to trade. You do have to declare them. That way they know you've taken out as well.
I'll declare the dagger and ring.
Did you leave your scepter?
No, that's mine.
Okay, like I'm saying, you're declaring that it is. Like you have to tell them all the magic items when you come in, and you tell them all that you have when you leave. That way, it's like cross-referenced.
Okay. I'll tell. That's the rule, right? I mean, I have to tell them.
Yeah, that or you just leave it at the manor, and it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, I don't want to part with it.
You always carry your rod. Like, it's my
Yeah,
scepter.
that's my emergency button.
All right, so you guys will get to Rafa. It is a coastal city, very hot, not humid at all. It is very arid. I've changed it there so you can take a look at it. That is the layout. They do have a carving of that actually as you leave the Mystic Sanctum. That you can actually see this and where everything is. If I recall right, you were at the Learned Library where you made that deal.
Yes, I think that was the only place that I went.
So you will go back to the Learned Library with everything. The only Gruck, you have been through this entire area. Saxon, the only area you've been is to the 2 bars.
Yep.
And back to the docks. So Gruck is a little more familiar with the area, and he will be leading you guys. When you guys get to the Learned Library, it is as it was before. Let me see if I had a good description of it to keep consistency. Zahur. Rafa. Learned Library. The clay and simple building is massive. There are 2 entrances on the front, which denote the level of learning one has achieved. Above them, though there is no barred entry to either door, or it has above them what level it is. Both chambers are almost identical, with a desk at the front and a massive bookcase throughout the building. The door to the right is the children's wing, and the door to the left is for those that are more learned. When you guys go to enter, Saxon and Druck are able to enter the more learned door. There is like a force field there for you, Zach.
Why?
Because you are not a magic caster.
Oh, Jesus.
So you have to go through the children's door.
I need to cast magic.
Go sit at the children's table.
I flip him off.
I didn't even really think about that, but that's hilarious.
It is what is written for it. The only difference is basically like there's counters that go up along the sides with all the bookcases. You can see everything still, But they take care of people at the learned side before they come over to the other side.
You know why? Because fuck you, that's why.
There is massive rows of bookcases, and if you could prove yourself worthy, you can get on the other side. But since you're not a spellcaster, you're not able to walk through that way unless they let you in. So you'll have to talk
Can
to the
I
clerk.
prove myself worthy so they'll let me in?
Yes, actually, there is a way to do that. You'll have to wait for them to come over and help with you. But
Okay.
they'll take about 5 minutes for somebody to get there. There's 2 elderly gentlemen that are working. One of them being the guy that you had talked to before, Druck. Just to get out of the way for Zach, I'm assuming you guys are perusing for a moment. When he finally gets over to you, he says, "You look a little old to be on this side. Are you not able to cast, young one?"
I am, but I cannot cast magic. I'm here with the other guys that went that way.
Do you have any type of learning? Any skills?
Do I hear that?
Yes.
No, he does not.
I flip him off while I'm still staring at the guy in front of me but my hand is towards him.
OOC, for a quick story, Pink actually got me in a lot of trouble one time at Walmart because of something like that, a smartass comment.
Yes, I did.
They walked by, or I was buying alcohol, and he walked by and went, "It's fake." And just kept walking.
Yep.
They ended up
It
having
was
the police
awesome.
officers come out to check it. Oh my god, dude.
Okay, for one, I had no idea it was going to turn out so fucking hilarious, but at the same time, not sorry.
I was there for a
It makes
half
for-
hour. I was like, let me just go. I don't even care about the alcohol anymore.
It
But I wanna
makes
give you
for
my ID back.
It just makes for such a funny story now.
Oh, you asshole. And it was because he worked there at the time, so when he walked by
It's-
and said it,
Oh, I see.
Yeah, but I was also not on the clock anymore.
so, anyway. He will just kind of glance back at Saxon for a moment and look back at you. So is there any technical skills you have that require learning that could warrant you to get on that side?
I'm a linguist.
Technically good at running his fucking mouth.
He will ask. He will start speaking in. Actually, he'll go. Okay, one moment. He pulls open his book. Waves his fingers. The pages change. He casts a spell. Prove it.
I speak in Dwarvish, Elvish, Abyssal, Celestial, Draconic, Infernal, Sylvan, Undercommon, and Tipskind.
He when you're done, he waves his fingers. His books close again, and goes, "All right, I can get you a membership for the learned side. It will last forever. It is a ring that allows you to walk through. It does not require attunement, and you can wear another ring on the same hand. But you will have to have it when you come here. It is 20 gold for the lifetime membership for you there.
I'll give him 20 gold.
He will give you the ring and open the counter and let you proceed to the other side, which is where all the good stuff is. Basically, that was the apprentice side. Like, you could find basic spell books there.
High five to Zach as he walks through to the other side. Congratulations on being an adult in their eyes.
Yay, go me.
Alright, so they will get right down to business after you guys are all over there and work everything out with you. He will be happy that you have returned with magical items for him. He is very interested in all of the potions. And both of the items do pique his interest enough. He is willing to deal with you all if you are wishing to trade for things. He will tally up a amount that he can offer as you guys are perusing through his wares, which is a fairly decent number of wares. So, is there anything in
Looking for
particular-
something specific, and I'm not sure if it exists in game.
Okay.
I'm looking for an item that I can give to Gruck that will make it simpler for me to calm him down.
Like a ring of calm emotions, basically.
Something that can be activated when he's berserk and the combat is over. I don't want him to always be calm because it's incredibly useful. But in the event of he's still at relatively full health, sleep isn't going to do it anymore, and I don't want to have to hurt him in order to be able to calm him down. I'm trying to bypass that step.
I do not have something like that at the moment, but I am aware of items that you are speaking of. Glances over at Gruck and his axe there. I think I know exactly what you are speaking of. While it is a very helpful item, there is people that do have the ability to create said items that you are referring to, but it is they are custom made. They have to be made for the wearer and the particular item that causes them to go berserk.
If you ask me, he's exaggerating the necessity of anything.
I'm sure.
I'm not worried about myself or Vol, but if you were to go berserk in a city center...
As for right now, I would probably recommend maybe a ring of spell storing and store a few sleep spells in there. Would be the best thing I could think of right away. Or a hold person, perhaps.
I don't think he's going to want for me to... I don't think he'd agree to hold person.
I suppose I'll mention it for what it's worth. Saxon, I am working on acquiring potions to help bolster my defense against it.
Well, okay, this probably would have been a conversation that we would have had on the boat ride over, and I would have told him what I was looking for. Again, I don't have a problem with you going berserk, and point of fact, I think sometimes it's useful. Somebody, whether it's me or Vol or Zach, needs to have the ability to shut you down quickly in the event that we're someplace where that berserkness could be dangerous.
Admittedly, I cannot argue with that.
Like, if we're in combat in a dungeon, it's not a necessity, but I don't want to have to take the 3 rounds that it's going to take to get you low enough for me to be able to put you to sleep, guaranteed. I would rather just be able to say, okay, it's time, calm down. Also, I'd rather just be able to calm you than put you to sleep.
But then I'm gonna keep going. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. I
mean,
love
that's
that
true.
movie. Man, that was such a fun part.
I have to be honest, I thought the first one was better.
I do too, but that particular scene is like my favorite scene of that movie.
Yeah. Although I have heard
and then-
amazing things about Infinity War.
I cannot wait to see it, dude. I cannot wait. Hopefully next week I'll get to go see it, but we'll see.
Fair enough.
All right. So they have tallied up the total value of what you have there. So is there any? I don't have anything of that particular nature at the moment, but I do have. Like I said, I do have some things. Perhaps a wand. That does require attunement, though.
How long would it take to commission something like that?
Depending on the wizard, 2-3 months.
And can you give me a rough estimate on cost?
Depending on how powerful the magic is for the axe, a typical berserker's axe would run about 1,000 gold. However, that one seems to have a larger aura than normal. I would guess 2,000 ish. But that is a guesstimate. Purely.
And it wouldn't eliminate his ability to go berserk. It would simply give us an out if needed.
Yes. It depending on the wizard depends on the way the out is done. Prismatic walls are a very common way of doing it. Trapping him inside a wall. Hold person till he calms down, putting him to sleep. Teleporting him to an extra dimensional place until he has fully calmed down is the most extreme, but I don't think would be required for that level of an axe. I'm not positive, though. It is not my specialty.
Gruck, what do you think?
I mean, I think it's interesting in the idea of just having a wand or something that would put up a set of walls around me in the event of. Because then if I can't go anywhere, it either gives people time to get away, or if I can't get anywhere to do anything, then it eliminates it.
The other old guy will step over at this point. A creative solution I have heard about before is using illusions, because usually the person under the berserk does not actually differentiate between the illusionary person and a real person until they swing through it. So creating a small army of people around him will give him much time of just swinging through people, while it gives the real ones time to get away.
Wait, what did he say? I was distracted by something. I was reading the list.
That's hilarious.
Basically, summon an army of illusionary people around it that he's gonna slice through trying to find a real person.
I was thinking about making an illusion for him to fight as well. Like.
That would be the way I would recommend, and that does not require that. In fact, that just requires a good spell or a wand, perhaps.
I mean, to be honest, that could even come in handy, normally. How much would a wand like that be? And then in the meantime, we could work towards something a bit more...
Well, the problem is, right now I don't have a particular wand or staff that does that, but typically they run about 1,500 gold.
So it's not that much cheaper to have something, or it's not that much more expensive to have something commissioned. It's just going to take time.
Well, that and most first-year students can cast the cantrip for it, the minor illusion. That will at least do one person, but as a thought, of course. Ring of Spell Storing, of course, is always an option still.
Although, I have to admit, it would be fun to get him to go berserk and just toss out that cantrip all the time.
Boom, 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 boom.
I mean, if we ever need to get him into shape.
You slap him and cast minor illusion.
I do have a Ring of Spell Storing, if that's something you're interested in. It's 4,000 gold. And with that, he just kind of wanders off to go help somebody else.
I mean, I kind of think your idea might be the easiest. It's just going to take a while. But the only thing I'm planning on doing is going to AWIN.
So. Alright, so when it all is tallied up, he goes, of course, we do not pay out here. Everything you do here is credit, store credit. So, with everything you have here, it is a total of 3,750 gold worth of store credit. If you wish to turn it all in.
So we cannot play with gold?
Well, no, it's best from a business point of view to keep it in store credit. That is how we operate here.
I mean, I don't think that's an issue. Anybody else?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
Saxon, I know I spoke to you before.
By the way, I
about,
linked that link there that I sent has it by magical item, or by rarity. So if you guys wanted to look through, typically the uncommon are between 500 and 1,000 gold. Rare items are between about 1,000 and 5,000. So you're going to be looking at the rare and uncommon items that you want to see. So if you guys wanted to pick anything magical to purchase, those are available there. There is also an ample number of things, including a basically Alchemy 101, which has the basics of alchemy, as well as some recipes, although not the higher end recipes. That is available for 150 gold.
Yeah, but not gold. Magic items.
Well, it is. You're basically you got store credit, so you have 3,750 gold you can work with there, like purchasing things from them.
Well, you needed a goggle of night vision.
Yeah, that's 500.
Yeah.
And then how much is your how much for the recipes that you wanted?
Well, I only wanted the recipes if you're going to sell the potions that we have, so I can make more, just in case we need something. Or
Right. Well, it'll be more beneficial for you
To
to
just
get
get
the
a book
recipes
of
than it will be
recipes.
to keep the
Yeah,
potions.
but
So
this basic book of recipes doesn't have everything we have here.
No, but
Because mostly what we have is higher end.
they do recommend what the basic potion. It's basically like a notebook that they have, and it has blank pages so you can write other recipes in the back as you're learning things. They also do have a notebook with it's magical that you can put a page in and it will seal into the book, like actually become part of it. They recommend if you're an alchemist to have one of those highly. They do also recommend getting the initial book.
See, that's what I was going to say. Get the initial book, get the recipes that we need or that you need for the potions that we're selling, and then that should be what, about 1,000 gold total?
800 gold if you want to get the potions, the basic book, and his goggles of night. If you want the magical book that you can add pages in, that is 200 gold, which will put it to 1,000 even.
Okay, so I would recommend doing that. And then that still leaves us with 2,750 gold.
Yes.
Can we use that as a down payment to commission something?
They don't do commissions here, but they could possibly invest it in for you.
Can you write us a check for store credit so that we can trade in the store credit since you won't give us the gold? Like, what I'm trying to say is, can we use what's left in that store credit to commission something?
Depends on what you're wanting to commission. They may have a friend that could do it, type thing, for the store credit. To give them the store credit instead, which is what you're saying, I think.
Yes.
So, depending on if that is a very good chance of that, unless there's something else you guys wanted to get. I didn't know if somebody else wanted to get something. But yes, you could.
I'm gonna do something. Just keep going. I'll tell you afterwards.
Okay.
Okay, because I have to go.
Now.
That's why I'm trying to move this.
Yeah. Basically, yes. Is there any magic items that you wanted to get though? Is the question.
Me personally, no, I'm good.
Okay.
Not at the moment.
Okay. Because there is some very fun magic items that you can get.
Yes,
I
am
want to
aware.
get something.
But right now, I think the bigger issue is going to be taking care of what could potentially be a major problem.
Yeah, that does make sense.
Like, I'm going to take a step back from my own needs in order to fix this.
Okay. Let's see. So yeah, that works. Yeah, that is they can contact some people and see what they're. Give him a minute. He can send out an apprentice type thing. And yes, so it will come back that yes, there is somebody that will be willing to commission it. They can commission a either a ring or an amulet that triggers when he berserks to conjure a spectral army around him, or one that you can cast.
In that case, it'd be better for one that you'd be able to cast.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Because if it automatically happens, we don't need that.
The only issue it is a once a day cast. But they can make that for 1,500 gold.
And we still have what, 2,000?
You have 2,750.
Can we make it 1,750 and put a rush job on it? Make it a priority for the extra 250 gold.
Unfortunately, there's it takes a certain amount of time to conjure. For a once a day cast, not a triggered thing like you're talking about. It will take him 90 days.
That works. Okay, I gotta go.
Okay.
Okay, man.
I will talk to you guys later.
I will keep.
And
I'll keep you in the loop of what's happening then.
that's totally fine. I will see you guys later.
Bye. See ya.
So, are you wanting to get that, Zach? The 3 items, plus all the recipes.
What items?
The magical book that you could put a recipe in and it seals it into it actually becomes part of the book. The original book, or the basics book, basically. And then the goggles of night, as well as the recipes for the potions you are selling.
And something else I'll trade the dagger for.
Okay, what do you want to trade the dagger for?
What's it called? The cloak of elven kind.
They will take the dagger plus another 250 in order to do that.
Can I pay cash?
You sure can.
I'll pay cash.
Okay. You guys still have 1,250?
Well, I wanted to bring it up, but Saxon had to leave. The whole idea of either keeping some on hand or figuring out a way to approach this business to set up whether or not we could set up some form of agreement between their business and the one that we're looking to start in order to develop a relationship regarding us having a stockpile of generic common magic items that we can give out to adventurers that we are sending out, and keeping some gold on hand might help to make that happen. So I don't.
We do keep track of soul credit if you wish to not spend it all right now.
I think that would probably be my preference.
Do you have a ring from here?
No.
They're 20 gold. It's a way of us keeping track of things magically.
I have a ring.
Are you the primary one that will be coming through to do the trading on a regular basis?
It would probably be me most
I'll
often.
be coming with you a lot.
I mean, that's fair. It's just by using the teleportation circles, which is the quickest and easiest route, the discounted price only applies to me and the people who travel with me. So it's either going to be me, or if you want to go by yourself, that's fine, but then you're going to be paying regular price, not the discounted price.
And you could just spend the 20 gold to get a ring of your own too. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, I just took it off of my personal gold to get one.
Basically, they attach they cast a spell on it, and that tells how much credit you have left. So when you enter, they can see how much credit you have. It's an arcane mark that only is visible here in the store. And what?
Sorry, can you tell me again what does the magical book for the alchemist does?
There's two books they're trying to sell you. The one, it's a book
The
without
basic
pages.
recipes,
Oh, the basic recipe one.
and the other one with the empty pages.
Yeah, it has no pages in it, and you put a book in or a page in. Like if you have a recipe, like a sheet of paper that's a recipe, you put it in there, you say the magical word, and it becomes a page in the book.
And we bought the recipes as well.
Yes, that would be the 1,000 gold.
So I have recipes on it as well. How many and what?
The recipes you got are the recipes that you sold, minus
Oh.
the healing potion.
Awesome.
They had those for the gold value, and it's the recipes and how to cook it basically.
Can you give me one more handout, please?
Yes, by all means. What do you want me to call it?
Magical Book of Alchemist.
I will let you name it.
Thanks.
Let me move it to your folder, because that's actually been really helpful for me keeping. There you go. Everything, our track of everything there. All right. So you have sold that, and you guys have sold Balance of Harmony and Dust of Disappearance, right?
I didn't have. Don't delete those yet. I want to write them down.
What, the Dust of Disappearance? The Dust of Disappearance was not part of the alchemical thing you want. If you wanted that, that's going to be another 40 gold to get that recipe.
Can I pay with cash?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I'll do that as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, keep in mind, Gruck, that you do have 1,000 gold that you could also drop into it if you wanted to get anything.
Right, but I'm not. I don't think I'm really looking for any additional magic items at the moment. Nothing springs to mind currently.
Where did you leave the note?
I moved the note to your into your thing. It just says alchemy. Oh, I didn't give you rights to see it. Hold on. Duh.
Yeah, I was like, it's not there.
Zach and save. All right, there you go.
Thanks. Well, I look at the bright side now. Now I have advantage on stealth checks, and the enemies have disadvantage on seeing me.
Hold on 1 second. Hi, what's up?
Hey, I forgot something,
What's up?
and this will just take real quick. Tell Warwick. Warwick knows what's going on, and I want to make sure that he's not gonna fake, or he's not gonna tell the other imp that I'm not really a dragon.
All right, that works.
And then also, if he pleases said imp, put in a good word for me with the tiefling.
All right, we'll do.
Okay, bye.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so sorry, I changed to see if you had. So you haven't used up your attunement slots though, either. So that is good to know. All right, so you guys will have that type of gold left there, as well as the items. Zach,
Yeah.
there you go. That's the main book, the Alchemy 101.
Alchemy 101.
It does have the ability in there for you to create special potions with effects that are combination worthy of you making. I don't know if you.
What level can I make?
This is a homebrew thing, so go take a look at it. You can read it. It's only 12 pages.
I can make herbalism, alchemy, process alchemy.
How much gold do we have in store credit at the Learned Library?
1,250.
No, okay.
The only thing that's different between the book there and Actually, I don't think they have the checks. I'll have to look through it again. I do have my own version of DCs for creating potions. So, although theirs seem pretty simple, so.
Is there no crafting thing where I can see the difficulty? Or the rarity that I can craft per level?
There is not anything. It actually is just a DC.
Oh, I see.
Having the ingredients in the DC. The DC goes up depending on the level. So, and if you glance over that book, it actually has like, okay, this ingredient does this type of thing. This ingredient does this type of thing. If you want to mix them together, it could react in a certain way. Can combine the effects. It's a certain DC.
That's kind of awesome.
Yeah, that's why it's a homebrew thing, but I've read it a few times and I've really enjoyed the concept of it. So I'm bringing that in for you. So, yeah.
Oh, it adds a plus. Okay, I see. Slender Dirk. I'm gonna finish writing the things first.
That's fun. So, yeah, so you guys did some shopping.
Trying to get my inventory taken care of currently. I did have another question for you, Matt, but
Yes.
I don't know what would be the best time to approach. It would be regarding the conversation that Gruck and Saxon, well, that Gruck wants to have with Saxon at some point. It's kind of a question on my part because I have a particular concern that I'm not entirely sure. Well, it's what makes it curious because I don't know how the conversation is going to turn out in general. But then for a more specific reason, I don't know if I'm going to be working myself into a corner that I don't know of any particular way out of, and maybe I'm missing something, but I'm just not sure.
Okay.
Does all of that make sense?
Somewhat. It's also extremely vague, so.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't know if Zach wants to hear it all. That's why I don't know if I just whether or not to bring it up now.
Zach brokers and information. Of course he wants to hear it all.
Of course I want to know.
I mean, it would all entirely be an OOC conversation. That's why I'm. I don't know if he wants.
Oh,
to hear
it's
it.
fine. You can talk about it. I don't mind.
Well, basically, the concern that I have is in Gruck approaching Saxon. The basic idea is that he is by default going to have to reveal a certain number of things. Those certain number of things, Gruck is not entirely sure how Saxon's going to take it. Yeah, the reason he wants to bring it up is because Gruck is significantly aware of the fact that if he can get Saxon to work with him, then it's going to make what he wants to do so much easier in the long run. And Saxon has already shown a tendency to be rather helpful, even though he doesn't need to be, or not as far as Gruck knows.
The problem is that in order for Gruck to basically find out whether or not Saxon is going to be interested in helping or willing to help, is he's going to have to reveal what he intends to do and how he intends to go about certain things, which then means that basically Gruck is going to be intently watching his reactions to that. Even if, and the scenario that comes to mind is even if, say, Gruck lays out his plans of what he intends to do regarding Violet, and Saxon's like, oh, well, I mean, okay. I mean, I hate her, and I think she's going to try to take advantage of you, but, I I know that you're not an idiot, so I don't think that that it'll be an issue. And as long as you're not looking to, backstab the rest of us, then I think it'd be fine. Well, by the very
One
nature
question.
of the conversation, what?
Violet is the chick that escaped from the what's it called? The ship, right? That
Yeah,
you
and the
guys were
trial.
under attack.
Yeah, and the trial.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I understand.
Well, the part about it that concerns me is that by the very nature of the conversation and the relationship between Gruck and Saxon now, that, in my opinion, requires an insight roll, regardless of what Saxon says. And even in the event of Pink's like, don't roll a 1, Saxon's on board, what if I roll a 1? Because in that particular scenario, rolling a 1, that by default would mean that Gruck is pretty much convinced that he just shit the bed and revealed his plan to Saxon, and Saxon's now going to use that against him in one fashion or another.
Yeah, that could be fun. We'll have to roleplay that through next week.
Well, and that's the part that was concerning me, because I don't know if I'm just not seeing what I should see, but I can only think of that heading in one particular direction. I mean, and that's the reason I wanted to bring it up, because I like to try to keep as much from you as possible. That way, it's entertaining on your end as well.
Yeah.
But I was talking about it to Pink, and one of the things that he was like, well, but you can then try to convince Saxon. I'm like, yeah, but that's just it. Gruck is well aware of the fact that Saxon has Misty Step. So if Gruck's going to do anything, it has to be immediate. Like, he can't. If he thinks that he's lost Saxon in that regard, he can't just, I'll try to talk him out of it. No, Saxon could be gone in a heartbeat, and then there's nothing he can do.
That's
So-
why you want to get, yeah. You need to, you can't get counterspell, can you?
No, not. I think.
No.
If he
I don't-
gets a spell of ring of spell storing, he can.
Ooh, yeah. By the way, the guy will try to talk you into a belt. He says, you seem like a guy that takes a lot of blows. One that could use a little bit more hardiness to yourself. Perhaps the equivalency of a dwarven toughness.
I mean, I like to think I do all right for myself.
He does have a belt that he can sell to you for 1,250 gold.
Wow. The only thing is, I don't have 1,250 gold.
You have it in store credit.
Well, we have it in store credit, and that would be something for me. So,
But if you survive, the whole party survives, do they not?
If
Both the
I don't
healer
sur-
and the tank, it is important for you.
It depends. If
I
he goes
don't survive,
berserk, then
I
no
don't
one
care
survives.
If the party survives, so
If you go berserk, then no one survives. With that as well.
He does show it to you. It is an excellently made belt, a dwarven stature. Has
no,
hammers
and
on it.
for the record, Greed, later on, the idea of Grunt going berserk is going to become significantly more interesting as the levels start to roll in.
Yeah, you start getting stronger and stronger. But your wisdom will start going up as well. So there's that.
But he is offering you the belt of dwarven kind.
What's that?
It increases your constitution. Gives
I
you
mean-
advantage on persuasion checks made to interact with dwarves. Because you're not a dwarf,
Right.
it gives you resistance to advantage, or it gives you advantage on saving throws against poison and resistance against poison. Gives you dark vision up to 60 feet. You already have that. And you can speak, read, write Dwarvish. Oh, and then also every day there's a 50% chance that you will grow a big, full dwarven beard. But it does give you 2 more constitution. You'd have an 18 con. That would give you an immediate 7 more hit points.
I'm assuming that's also requires an attunement.
Yes, it does.
See, now that's one of the issues like OOC that I have with it, because that would give me 3 already, and anything else that I get would then have to lose something else.
Mm-hmm.
I have 3 as well. Just got it with the cloak.
I mean, technically, if you throw in another 250 gold, I also do have that one of Hill Strength.
God, it could be helpful in the short term.
Yes, I can.
I am actually thinking about trading my ring of protection for wings of flying. That would be awesome.
Oh,
Perhaps you're a little
goodness.
slow on the take. You could always get to one of, and he points to a shield that has a giant eye on the front.
Oh, okay. That's kind of awesome, actually.
Yeah, what is that?
It gives you boosts on surprise, I think, on being surprised, and on the initiative.
Yeah, it gives you advantage on initiative rolls and advantage on perception checks that have to do with visual. It is the Sentinel Shield.
I will most likely see that before you with my passive.
See, that's definitely not bad, but the advantage on initiative rolls, I don't think I'm gonna need. Well, I mean, I will, but I'm gonna get.
What?
I am curious though, even though I don't like the idea of it, because it's such a handy little item to have. But
What would they value the eagle whistle at?
I gotta look it up. Hold on. Or what is it? What's its rarity?
rare, wondrous item.
It is a very helpful item, and they do have. They can give you about 1,200 gold for it.
So then theoretically, I could exchange the dwarven belt for the eagle whistle and 50 gold.
Yes.
All right.
I have a question as well, actually. I want to change something. I
Alright.
just saw something. Instead of the cloak of elven kind, can I get the boots of elven kind? It doesn't require a tournament either.
They do have one for sale as well. The boots are 750 gold.
Yeah, but I already paid 250 for the cloak.
Yeah, the cloak's actually cheaper.
It's cheaper?
Yeah. The boots cost more since they don't require attunement.
What about the cloak of what's it called?
Protection?
No. It's the one that lets you teleport once a day, I think.
I have no idea what that one is. Right off the top of my head.
Mount Blanc or something.
What is the rarity on it?
Rare.
That one's actually about 3,000 gold to buy.
For what it's worth, do keep in mind, even though that would be an awesome item to have, it will eventually be pointless because of what Boris is going to do in the estate. Just long term.
What's he going to do?
Well, that room that he was putting in the runes on the doors, so that we'd be able to travel to all the different places.
Yeah.
Like, if there's going to be one on each continent, then, you know, Rafa would be, if not Rafa, then someplace else here. It might not be as good as just straight teleporting, but you'd be able to do it more often and for relatively free once the initial
Yeah, but the cloak is
setup
basically a dimension door spell.
cost. I mean, it's your choice. I just wanted to make sure you hadn't forgot about that, I guess.
All right. Well, are you going to do that then? Trade in the whistle for the Belt.
Yeah. I already took the 50 gold out of my inventory for it.
All right.
So it will take up my 3rd attunement slot for now, but
You
that
should-
could definitely come in
We'll
handy
see.
in the future, like soon.
By the way, Matt, can they fix the Stone of Ill Luck?
The process of fixing it is actually more costly than just keeping it as it is. People will pay quite a bit just for a cursed item, although not here. I added your belt of dwarven kind to your character. It should have automatically increased your con. It did.
Okay.
So you will have to
Where-
increase your hit points, though.
Oh, I don't even see it in here. Where did
Plus
you put
1
it?
for each level, basically.
Very bottom here. It's
Oh, yeah. Okay, I gotcha.
oh, and they do have bags of holding for sale here, if you're interested. But I doubt it. So, all right. I have to go. Get ready for work and go to work. So I will talk to you guys later.
One last thing,
One last thing. Hurry.
because we have too many options.
I got 3 minutes.
How much is the Stone of Good Luck?
That is actually a very expensive item. The Stone of Good Luck is very valuable. It is uncommon technically, but it's so sought after that it is actually classified as rare and costs about 2,500 gold.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
And what about winged boots?
I'll get back to you on that one later. All right. I do have to
thanks.
go, so I'll talk to
Have
you
a
guys
good one.
later.
See
Have a
ya.
good week, guys.